What's up, everybody? Good morning and happy Wednesday. We are making the turn on this week. Appreciate you making us a part of your start, whether you're listening on the radio dials, 105.1 FM, 790 AM, available online to stream up online at sportstalk1051.com, WAYYradio.com. You got your app, download it, take it on the go. Your Alexa devices, smart devices, and, of course, the video stream that is up and rolling right now on YouTube. What do we have on our game plan for us on this June 17th? Brewers picking up a nice win. Brewers picking up a win last night, taking down the Cleveland Guardians in a 2-1 victory. Solo shots from Bryce Terang and Garrett Mitchell, the difference for the Brewers in this one. But, good morning there too, Barbara. I was like, we got already a notification on YouTube. All right, 2-1 victory. Solo shots from Garrett Mitchell, Bryce Terang, the difference in last night's game. Solid outing from Robert Gasser too. Dude, probably his best start, would you say, since maybe his 2024 season, his rookie season. But Robert Gasser going a little over 5 innings, just under 6, 5 2/3, giving up only 2 hits, striking out 5, and issuing 2 walks. Also, the debut of Cooper Pratt did go hitless, had a little bit of a throw in error there too, but had some butterflies and such. But hey, got it out of his system, right? And nothing but positivity. Nothing, can't go anywhere but up after this. So, Brewers setting a franchise record for wins in the first 70 games of the season. They are now 44-26. 44-26. So, they'll try to at least secure a series victory tonight, game 2 of this series. And on the mound for the Brewers is going to be Brandon Sprout. Gavin Williams is getting the start here for Cleveland. So will be a tough matchup for the Brewers offense going up against Williams. But we'll preview this game and look back to last night's win, a franchise-setting win for the Brew Crew. So Aaron Ashby picked up his 10th win too. So got to throw that out there, which, okay, it's cool. It's a fun story, right? I mean, Ashby's 10-0 to begin the year, 2.86. I mean, for crying out loud, he might be undefeated this year. Who knows? He might be undefeated. But I want to know, what do you think? And I'm not necessarily saying that this is the most worthless, but I don't know if I like to use the word worthless, but I guess that's the best way to say it. What do you think is maybe the most overrated sports statistic, stat that is out there? What do you think is the most overrated, I guess kind of worthless sports statistic out there? Or what is maybe another way to kind of throw this out there is, what do you think is the one that gets overplayed a little bit? And yes, I'm referring to, like, because I feel like wins for pitchers now in Major League Baseball, it's not the same. Not trying to take anything away from Aaron Ashby or anything, but I feel like that is, it's not the same. All right, I think we can all agree with that, right? I mean, we can agree with that, I would hope. But your thoughts? What do you think? Let me know. All right, hit me up with some text on that Shoe Doctors bullpen line, 715-830-1912. 715-830-1912. Or you can join in on the Section 105 chats on our YouTube video stream. So we'll hit that up. It is a Wednesday, which means we are going to, in the 8 o'clock hour, just right at the top of the 8 o'clock hour, I'm going to chat with Ty from Slab Factory for a little inside the hobby chat with him. So got that coming. It is a what if Wednesday. Give me a what if scenario, sports scenario. All right. We had a lot of fun with this one last week. A lot of you had some good ones out there. But what if? What if? Give me a sports take. Or a sports scenario where you're like, hey, what if this happened? What if that were to happen? What if, could be past, could be future, that sort of thing. Also, a little, what are we doing here? Got that coming up, that segment. What are we doing here? And I like with a lot of these segments, I'll open it up for the rest of you to chime in, to participate. Think about a kind of a sports take or maybe something that's out there like, man, what are we doing here? Like last week, the prime example was Texas Tech. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? So what's a sports kind of thought that you had, an opinion that you have where it would fit that what are we doing here sort of narrative, if you will. So we'll hit that up, have a little fun with that coming up here too. So, wherever else the conversation may lead us. We are officially less than a week away from the NBA draft, and it's still pretty quiet surrounding Giannis and the Bucks. I know there's more rumors and rumblings and such out there. I wonder if it's a game of chicken at this point. Who's going to, kind of fold first? Bucks or whoever, whatever teams out there that have thrown in some offers. I think right now Bucks can hold on to this thing up until the last second, and they're probably waiting to see if a team kind of gets a little antsy and maybe ups the offer. But hey, well, countdown's still on. So, but nothing's really changed out there in terms of any more like big rumors or reports or anything like that. So, also, we'll continue our 250 countdown. We're just at about the halfway mark. I was updating everything yesterday and such, making sure I don't double up on stuff. But yeah, it's we're I think we'll approach halfway. So we'll knock out another 10 here this morning. So that's coming up, coming your way here later on too. So. But, hey, let's get things going here. We got the lead off to open it up. Let's talk some Brewers baseball, shall we? Little Brew Crew baseball. Brewers picking up the 2-1 victory last night. Cooper Pratt's debut. Robert Gasser was awesome. Best start and probably a couple of years for him. Turang, Garrett Mitchell, they were the difference makers. That's all they need, just 2 solo shots, just 4 hits from each team last night. Hits were hard to come by, but Brewers taking advantage of their 2 solo shots. So let's talk some Brew Crew, shall we? Recapping last night's W and looking ahead to Game 2 tonight with Brandon Sproat on the mound and Gavin Williams going for the Guardians. We'll take a quick break and we'll get some Brewers talk underway. Coming up on the leadoff after these few words. Father's Day is coming up this weekend, and our good friends from Hy-Vee's got a Father's Day steak sale starting tomorrow through Sunday. And if you go to Hy-Vee and Eau Claire's Facebook page, you can see the whole picture there. That's a lot of steak there. Oh, yeah. We're talking about Hy-Vee Choice Reserve Boneless Strip Steak, Hy-Vee Choice Reserve Beef Big T-Bone Steaks. You got yellowfin ahi tuna on there too, swordfish steak, boneless ribeye steak. There's a lot, and you can go to the Hy-Vee Facebook page in here and check it out. And don't forget about the Father's Day steak cutting event, this Friday, June 19th, from 4 to 7 p.m. Saturday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Sunday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. But it's the Hy-Vee Father's Day steak sale. That might be another fun question. Let's do a little informal poll here. So I threw out one earlier. What do you think is the most overrated stat in sports? Your favorite cut of steak. Okay, what's the go-to steak? You're going to a steakhouse, or you're firing up the grill. They even got Wagyu beef steak strip for sale here too. But you're going to the grill, and you're putting on that piece of steak. What's the go-to steak? What are you putting up there, or what are you ordering? Hit me up. All right. We've got Eli says interception. More specific, Eli, are you talking like from a defensive side of things? Are you talking from a quarterback side of things? And why do you think that's overrated? Brandon G chiming in saying, I still haven't figured out why WAR in baseball is a stat that is really emphasized in baseball, especially when it comes to how to determine Hall of Fame inductees. Is that like them using Super Bowl wins for quarterbacks in their Hall of Fame inductions? So Brandon G going with wins above replacement. Rando says from Chippa, I love a good sirloin. So, all right, keep those coming. What's the go-to steak for you? All right, what's the go-to steak for you? Share it with the rest of us. Okay, I probably got to go. I mean, my wife's is a big ribeye. She's huge ribeye. I like it. I mean, maybe I'm a little old school. I like my prime ribs. I like a really good prime rib, but ribeye's up there too when you got it cooked perfectly, when you got it cooked right. So those are probably, I like a good sirloin though too. So, but what's the go-to? All right, you can pick any of them. All right, let's talk some Brewers here as we open up things here on the leadoff. Brewer Crew picking up a 2-1 victory last night, taking down the Guardians in Game 1 of this series. Robert Gasser, what's the storylines from last night's games? Start off with Robert Gasser. I think probably fair to say that was one of his best starts, maybe his best start since 2024, when he kind of jumped on the scene early on before the Tommy John surgery, going 5 2/3, only giving up 2 hits, 5 strikeouts, and a couple of walks in a pitching duel last night. Robert Gasser was awesome and reminded a lot of us about the pitcher that we saw in 2024. So good to see that last night from him to go out there and pitch incredibly well, put his team in a position in a game that was clearly evident there wasn't going to be a whole lot of scoring, at least it seemed like, and kept his team in position there up until, Guardians did tie it up in the 7th. Aaron Ashby, who did pick up his 10th win to improve to 10-0, but also got charged with a blown save on there too. So, but thanks to Garrett Mitchell hitting that home run in the 7th to take the lead for the Crew, they never looked back after that. But and then the storyline too is another storyline from last night, the debut of Cooper Pratt. Cooper Pratt did go hitless. He went 0 for 3, did have a throwing error. But I kind of chalked that up a little bit to nerves, to some butterflies and such. So got it out of the way. Got the photos with the fam after the game. Hopefully there's not pressing too much just to get that first hit. Hopefully get it out of the way today, and let's go play ball. Let's go play ball. So, but the Cooper Pratt era officially beginning yesterday. The corresponding move, Luis Rengifo designated for assignment. Also from yesterday, too, Brandon Woodruff took a step towards getting back in this rotation. He threw 5+ innings for the Timber Rattlers yesterday in Davenport, Iowa. So he was scheduled for 5 innings and 80 to 85 pitches, and he reached both of those targets, thrown 82 pitches over 5 1/3 innings. He was charged with 3 runs on 5 hits with 1 walk and 6 strikeouts, with 2 of the runs, 2 of the hits, and a lone walk coming in Woodruff's 5th inning of work when the runs scored on a ground out and a sacrifice fly. So they're still projecting a late June return to the majors. According to Adam McCulvey, he will likely rejoin the team today to plot the next steps. So, but going just under 6 innings, reaching both of those targets. Hopefully it's a step closer to the return of Brandon Woodruff within this starting rotation. They're definitely taking it slow with him and very cautious with Brandon Woodruff. And we get it. We understand it, right? We understand the mindset. They want him available when it comes to September and October. And right now, with the way the Brewers are playing and racking up wins, do you blame them? I mean, they have this luxury to be able to go a little slow with him, to kind of ease him on in. Logan Henderson, too, has progressed to throwing bullpens right now. And if anybody's wondering about Quinn Priester, according to Jack Stern, Quinn Priester is following up with the doctor yesterday to decide on his next steps. So that's kind of where we're at here. Logan Henderson still sounds like maybe a projected return of early July. So, but that's where we're at on the injury front so far. But tonight, looking ahead to Game 2, Brandon Sproat is on the mound for the Brew Crew. He is bringing his 1-4 record with a 5.70 ERA to the table here. Now, Brandon Sproat coming off of a very solid performance against the Athletics back on the 10th, where he went 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 3 strikeouts. And still, this is a guy that when everybody's healthy in that starting rotation, he's on that line. He's on a thin line, but maybe pitching just a skosh better as of late here. And, I mean, he was incredibly effective in that June 10th game. 6 innings, just 68 pitches. The biggest thing from him is, can he continue to string those starts together? Can he continue to stack success? Can he continue to build upon those starts? It's not just one every few starts. It's got to be, all right, you had another start here, you had a good start here, you had a good start there. Keep it going, man. Keep it going. But it's going to be tough. You got Gavin Williams on the other side here for the Guardians. And when you look at the veteran, you're looking at a guy who so far this year is 9-3 with a 3.32 ERA. He's coming off of back-to-back games against the Yankees where he went 5 innings apiece, a little over 5 innings on June 3rd, giving up 3 earned runs and 2 home runs in each of those games. There's been one thing with Gavin Williams, you kind of look at, his starts in May, 5 games. He was 3-2 with a 3.55 ERA. Month of April, the guy was awesome. 6 games, 5-0 with a 2.35 ERA. And when you look at experience, Brewers hitters, yeah, they got a couple guys have a couple of games worth of experience going up against them. Jackson Chirios, 6 at-bats is 167. Sal Frelick has a home run against him in 5 career at-bats. 5 career at-bats for Terang, hitting 200 with a 400 OPS. Vaughn, 4 career at-bats, 250. So, I would say for some guys, 1 game or 2 games worth of experience. So, first pitch tonight, 6:40. Just like last night, you can tune in on the radio dials, 105.1 FM, 790 AM to tune in. And pregame coverage starts 35 minutes prior. Tim in the Cooley region says, Steakhouse Hoarder's good ribeye. My grill of venison tenderloin. Well, it sounds like Mark is with you there, too. For me, it's any cut of venison steak as long as the supplies last in my freezer from last fall. Otherwise, it's a beef ribeye. So, Mark, Tim, you're right there with each other. Mike says, I'm a ribeye guy, but every Father's Day, I like to get a tomahawk steak to grill for myself. Ooh, I will be honest, I've never had a tomahawk steak. I've never had one. So, all right, let's take a quick break. What is the most overrated sports stat out there? And then, since we're getting ready for Father's Day and we've got steak sales from Hy-Vee, what's the go-to cut? All right, what's the go-to cut for steak for you? Hit me up. You got a favorite seasoning that you put on there too? Give it away. Share it with the rest of us. Get what, or maybe you're just simple. Maybe you're just simple. A little salt and pepper or something like that. I don't know. Maybe you don't. Whatever. What's the go-to? A little seasoning on there when you make it yourself. All right, let's take a quick break. Back with plenty more coming up after these few words. Have you signed up for the 6th annual Kasper Classic yet? If not, what are you doing? Head to our website right now, sportstalk1051.com, WAYYradio.com, and get your two-person team signed up today. All right, we've got spots opened in the 1 p.m. and the 7:30 a.m., the Surveyor Sam flights. Just, again, two-person team for $90. That's $90 for the whole team, not $90 per person, $90 for the whole team. That includes your meal. That includes your 9 holes, your cart, couple drink tickets as well. Free gift from us, too. And there's some sweet 20-ounce tumblers, baseball-themed ones that you're going to like. So I got to give a shout-out to our partners who are hopping on board to help support our outing because it helps support Backyard Dreams, Muldoon's Menswear, Park Ridge, distributing Hy-Vee and Eau Claire, Kelsey Nikolai, Edward Jones, Kelsey Nikolai, Dodge, Cambridge, Myron Construction, VFW Post 305, Superior Auto Body, Window World, Home Oasis, and Resonance Branding. So if you are interested in becoming a whole sponsor or really, too, if donating a raffle prize, because those proceeds 100% go to Backyard Dreams, please reach out. Please reach out and let us know. That would be awesome. So, but put on your calendars for Friday, August 7th. I know you're probably thinking, man, that's August. We got time. Hey, everybody's signing up right now. We've already gone through 1 tee time. So get your spot before it's too late. C-Bomb says, I like a medium rare ribeye with hardcore carnivore seasoning or maybe a little meat church. Holy cow. I have never flipped the bill for a tomahawk steak myself, but I may have to give that a whirl. They do look amazing. They do, don't they? They really do. Mark asks, what exactly does designated for assignment mean? Oh, it's one of those baseball things here. So essentially, it's kind of like a holding period. I believe it's about a week. But a team has to decide within this holding period to either attempt to trade the player, to release the player, unconditionally releasing them, making them a free agent, or placing the player on waivers. But it could be waivers where they pull them back. So like if a team lays a claim on this player, they could pull him back and keep him on the team. So if a player clears waivers and is not traded or released, the team can outright him to minor leagues. However, veteran players with at least 3 to 5 years of major league service time can reject this and elect to become free agents instead. This player, though, is immediately removed off that active 40-man roster spot. So that's, a lot of these things in Major League Baseball kind of, they are a little bit hard to it's not as clear-cut as maybe some of the other leagues and sports and such. And I don't know if the Brewers would. I don't know what if Luis would take if he clears waivers. I don't know if he would elect to stay with the Brewers and go to Nashville, or if the Brewers just outright kind of release him. But we'll wait and see. So, but game 2 tonight. We'll see if Cooper Pratt gets his first career hit and kind of maybe take the butterflies out of that and such. I think that's, you don't want to get it to a point. I think that's one of the things. You don't want to get to a point where, you're just kind of waiting because, we're human and he's human. Cooper's human and such. Longer it goes, like, man, I got to get my first hit. I got to get my major league first hit. I got to get that ball. I got to put it on the trophy case, on the mantle and such. Hopefully what's the old adage? First one's always the hardest one. So hopefully he can get that out of the way today and just kind of move on from there. So Who do you think is going to be the next guy called up position player-wise when it comes to the Brewers? Jet Williams? Lara? Or who do you think it should be? I will say Garrett Mitchell, with the whole Lara sighting and such, Garrett Mitchell has been playing really well as of late from an offensive side of things, which makes me really nervous for my guy, Sal Frelick. It makes me nervous because, well, first off, we're seeing, even Sal not getting starts, and like Jake Bauers even getting starts in right field. And I get it. I mean, it's power, it's offense. You're trying to get your top offensive players out there. But right now in the month of June, Garrett Mitchell is batting .357 with a 1.053 OPS. Garrett Mitchell is on a heater right now. And I know we're only halfway through this month, but I think it's kind of a glimpse of what this team for a longest time believed they could get out of a guy like Garrett Mitchell. And so far this year, he's got 5 home runs, .258 average, a .357 on base, and a .789 OPS. All those are averages that are better than his career numbers, career averages. But this is a guy that, you look at, he finished April, if we just look at month by month, .250 batting average, a .400 on base. He was slugging at .397, had just 1 home run. Month of May, 2 home runs, but he was hitting just .214, .291 on base, and a .357 slugging. Not great numbers. And so far in the month of June, he's got 2 home runs, a .357 average, slugging a whopping .667 in a .386 on base percentage. Now, he's not going to, by all odds, continue to hit over .350. Continue to probably slug over .667, but maybe just kind of giving us a little bit of a glimpse so far of what the team kind of expected or thought they were getting from Garrett Mitchell, because we kept hearing for all these years the potential of him. Just couldn't stay healthy. Just couldn't get out there on the field. And right now, maybe we are seeing what Garrett Mitchell could do as when he's healthy. The potential out there. So, good to see that, although it still makes me nervous for Sal. Salvatore. Sally. I mean, let's be real here. Real talk. Sal Frelick, not doing the greatest from an offensive standpoint. I mean, so far this season, he's .227. His on base is .303, and his OPS is .611, all below his career averages. And the thing is that he's been kind of consistent. April, he hit .219. May, he hit .217. June, he is off to a little bit of a better start. I mean, he's for the month of June, he is hitting .289. His on base is up to a .386. His slugging, I mean, we knew that he's probably never going to have the high slugging numbers. .368. So, a little bit better in the month of June, but I don't know. I think we got to see it. If you had to pick between Sal Frelick and Garrett Mitchell to keep in your lineup right now, who are you going with? I hate to say this, but it's probably Garrett Mitchell. I shouldn't say I hate to say this because I just want wins for the Brewers and such. It's always the team above the player, but that's my guy, Sal. Pick it up, Salvatore. We got to get a little. We got to get this going here a little bit more. All right, let's take a quick break as we start to wrap up the wrap up the first hour here. Hey, continue. We're having a little fun conversation. What's the most overrated statistic in the world of sports? Is it wins by a starting pitcher now? No offense to Aaron Ashby, but he's 10-0. I don't think that means he's going to be in the running for a Cy Young anytime soon. Again, I'm not trying to pick on a guy, but still. Is it something else? What do you think is the most overrated stats in the sports world? Plus, give me some what ifs so I could throw out to the rest of our listeners. All right, if you got a what if sports scenario, what if the I'm trying to think of one off the top of my head. What if the Bucks don't trade Giannis by next Tuesday? What if, et cetera, et cetera? Then I'll throw it out to the rest of our listeners to give their feedback. Okay? And then another new segment that we're doing each Wednesday. What are we doing here? What's kind of a sports story that's out there, or a narrative, or whatever you want to phrase it, where it would fit like, man, what are we doing here? Like last week's, it was the perfect one with the whole Texas Tech and Sorsby thing. What are we doing here? You got one that would fit that? I got one. But I'm going to wait a little bit to hit that up. So send those on over too. And just a little fun one. What's the go-to cut for your steak, since we were talking about Hy-Vee's steak sale? A lot of ribeyes. A lot of ribeye choices. And venison on there too. All right, we'll take a quick break, and we'll be back to wrap up the first hour coming up after these quick words. Believe it or not, hunting season preparation starts right now, and there is no better place to gear up than Tilden Gun in Chippewa Falls. Whether you are looking to upgrade your deer rifle, pick up a new turkey shotgun, or maybe a dependable shotgun for traps, sporting clays, or target shooting, Tilden Gun has a wide selection of firearms from the brands that you know and trust. Their knowledgeable staff can help you find the perfect fit for your hunting style, experience level, and budget. Plus, you'll find ammunition, accessories, optics, and more to help you get the most out of every trip to the range or into the field. Don't wait until the season is right around the corner. Get prepared now and shoot with confidence later. Stop by Tilden Gun in Chippewa Falls and see why sportsmen and shooting enthusiasts throughout the Chippewa Valley trust Tilden Gun for all of their firearm needs. C-Bomb says, wins for pitchers is definitely the most overrated stat. They do have to be consistently good, but it's very team dependent. In my opinion, in today's game for the NFL, passing yards is a terrible statistic to judge a quarterback. Quarterbacks on terrible teams can rack up yards what does that say? With loose defenses late in the game? Okay, I see what you're saying now. 4,000 yards used to mean something. It doesn't mean anything anymore, especially with a 17th game. Austin says, what if Micah Parsons isn't the Micah we've come to know? What if he's only 75% of what he was? Is this Packers defense in trouble, especially our secondary? Yes. Just in my opinion, yes. I would say so. How about the rest of you? What if Micah Parsons is not the Micah Parsons that we saw last year, pre-injury or during his Dallas tenure? As Austin throws out there, what if he's only 75%? Is the Packers defense in trouble? I would say yes. Because right now, Lucas Van Ness is kind of like a Garrett Mitchell to me. I want to see him healthy, and I want to see him get more opportunities. It's not an exact comparison, but I want to see him out on the field more times than not and getting those opportunities. And I don't know about Barron Sorrell, Colin Oliver, Brenton Cox Jr. We don't know enough about these guys and whether they could potentially pick up that slack. So, yeah, that's where I would go for that. How about the rest of you? You can chime in if you'd like. It's a good what if, Austin, and hopefully we don't have to be talking about that during the football season, right? Hopefully we don't have to be talking about that. But that's a good what if. All right, keep those coming. Coming up next hour, actually coming up at 8 o'clock, we're going to do a little Inside the Hobby. Ty from Slab Factory is going to be joining us, and I'm excited to catch up with Ty again, talking a little bit about the latest and greatest in the card hobby and that. So we'll get to Ty. Those are always good and fun conversations with Ty. So looking forward to that right around 8 o'clock here this morning. So continue to send me your what ifs. Send me some what are we doing here. Send me more of your most overrated sports stats, statistics. What is it? Is it wins by pitchers? I've gone back and forth so much on is quarterback wins a stat. I've gone back and forth on that so much because quarterback, yeah, I think you need a quarterback. Every team needs a really good quarterback to have a chance to win. Now, yes, you have examples of teams that still win a bunch of games with maybe a serviceable or a quarterback kind of, going above and beyond, or going above their expectations. But when you say football is the ultimate team game, and we put wins based off on quarterbacks, it's just I go back and forth on it all the time. So I don't know what the rest of you are like with quarterback wins. Is that a stat? Or is that an overrated stat? What else out there? What other stats out there do you think is most overrated? And yes, I'm bringing this up because Aaron Ashby picking up his 10th win of the season last night, and he's 10-0. And for what it's worth, to remember, Ashby has said that, yeah, they'll probably change the rules, and he thinks they should change the rules. C-Bomb says that's a great hypothetical. There's a lot of money tied to Micah. I would still say 75% of Parsons is better than anything we've had since Clay Matthews. My what if is, what if Parsons comes back in Adrian Peterson mode, better than he ever was? Move over Myles Garrett. All right. Those are... I mean, if Micah Parsons comes back Adrian Peterson mode, where you're talking... where he was just absolutely dominating that. Was it 2012? Now, I would assume he's still going to miss the first few games of the season, but he probably won't have a sacrifice. Hey, never say never, right? Never say never. Some good hypotheticals. Keep those coming. That's it. It's a What If Wednesday. That's what we're doing here. So we're having some fun with that. But we'll get back to some more Brewers talk, too, as we get set for Game 2 between the Brewers and the Guardians tonight. 6:40 first pitch. Brandon Sproat on the mound. I think the biggest thing, again, for Sproat, can we get some consistency with him? Can we get some consistency with him? Coming off of a good start against the A's. Can he put together those consistent starts? Can he put together those consistent performances? So, all right. We only got about a minute and a half for the top of the hour here. So we'll get back to those Brewers talks, get back to more of your picks. We got a couple more what-ifs that I want to get to here in just a skosh. Also, what are we doing here? And, hey, by the way, since we do have Ty, if you have any questions for Ty when it comes to card collecting or anything like that, send them on over. Ty loves questions. All right, I pepper him with questions all the time. So if you do have a question, maybe you're not even a card collector, but it's something that you read, it's something that you saw in the news, and you just kind of want to get a local expert's opinion on it, send those on over too, all right? We're an open book. Send them on over, baby. All right, shot clock's going to cut me off. So we got some news updates, and then we'll kick off the next hour. Maybe we'll go through another group of 10 from our 250 countdown. But you got a couple minutes to send me some more what-ifs. I like these what-ifs. Send those babies on over. And the most overrated sports statistic out there. What are we missing? And where do you stand on the quarterback wins? Is that a stat? Is that a legit stat or not? I go back and forth. I need some people to help convince me one way or the other. All right, quick break. We'll be back after these few words. Second hour, kicking off right now on this Wednesday morning. We are making the turn on this Wednesday morning. Thanks for hanging out with us and making us a part of your starts. Whether you're listening on the radio dials, 105.1 FM, 790 AM, send it on over. All right, send, or not send it over. Tune in wherever you want. Video streams, apps, all that good stuff. We're everywhere. You can send over your thoughts by hitting us up with a quick text on that Shoe Doctor's bullpen line at 715-830-1912 or hitting us up on the video stream in the Section 105 chat room. All right, so let's we got C-Bomb saying, you know what? I'm not a basketball guy, but what if Giannis went to San Antonio? Somebody had threw that one out there. Yesterday, I believe it was. Can you imagine Giannis and Wembanyama together on the field? Yikes! You're talking about some major wingspan. I mean, good luck driving the lane against those two. You'd have to have some outside shooters for that game. But I don't think it'll happen because that's the tricky thing. Well, again, never say never, but I think the Spurs, they like their core, and I don't think they want to mess it up. You know, yes, they lost the finals and such, but I think they really, really like their core young core that they got with Wembanyama and Castle and such. So I don't see them making a major move like that to kind of bring in Giannis in that. But again, who knows? Maybe there's a quiet team. Maybe there's a team that's not been rumored. Kind of like when the Bucks swung in and got Dame Lillard. Everybody thought it was going to be the Heat because that's where Dame wanted to go. The Heat. And then in come the Bucks. So maybe there is that one team that's just kind of waiting in the wings. But all right. Coming up in just under an hour from now, we'll talk with Ty from Slab Factory in our bi-weekly chat. Talk a little bit about the hobby, the card hobby and such. So, well, if you got any questions for Ty, please send those on over so we can get those to him as well and put them part of our conversation. But he'll be joining us just under an hour from now. We'll do the 250 countdown towards the back end of this hour. So we'll knock out another 10. We're close, about halfway, I think. We're about halfway through it for our 250 countdown. So we'll knock out another 10, and I believe we'll be over the halfway mark here. So, but we'll do that at the back end of this hour. So I was reading a little bit on ESPN. So they're getting ready for the trade deadline, even though it's a little less than 2 months away. But they've ranked their top 2026 MLB trade deadline candidates, 100. So, hey, if you're looking for a third baseman, you're looking for some options. Who are some dudes out there that the Brewers could potentially look at from maybe a third base or from a pitching standpoint? Here's a good list. Number one is Skubal, and they put a chance of being traded at 85%. Best fits, and they include best fits for these players too. For Skubal, they put every single contending team, but more realistically, Dodgers, Yankees, Braves, Brewers, Blue Jays, Rays. Brewers are listed. So they did best fits for, was it the top 25? Yeah, top 25, and then they just listed the rest of the 75 players. But the Brewers are listed a few times on here. They're listed under, well, let's go through some of these. Some mostly for pitchers, which probably shouldn't surprise a whole lot of people at this point in time. But the Brewers are listed as best fits, which is kind of, why for this guy, but not that guy and such. But it is what it is. So, but they've got Sandy from Miami listed as a fit for the Brewers. They do not have Freddie Peralta listed for the Brewers on there. They've got Sonny Gray listed. I feel like Sonny Gray has been mentioned as a potential Brewers target for how many years now? Casey from the Tigers. They've got Matt Chapman. What would you think about Matt Chapman as a fit for the Brewers? For third base, Matt Chapman, the veteran. Now, looking at what he has done this year, he's 261 with 7 home runs. Now, Matt Chapman, because there really isn't a lot of third base options out there. They're not. And they only put this as being a 25% chance of happening. And years of control, 4 years after 2026 at $100 million. That's where I don't think the Brewers do it. If he wasn't owed that amount of money, I could see the Brewers potentially making it. Like if there was just 1 year left, or if it was just the rest of this year, I could see that. But looking at that contract, I don't know. I can't see that happening for the Brewers. It's a name and such, but they do have the Brewers listed for a right fielder, Joe Adell from the Angels. Now, he so far is hitting .256 with 10 home runs. So you'd be getting a little bit more power, a little bit more pop. It's not a long-term commitment, 1 year after 2026. They do have Matt Shaw listed as a Brewers target. He's currently with the Cubs. I can't see the Brewers and Cubs making a deal for that. Now, he's hitting .257 and just 3 home runs. So I don't know if that would be something. I mean, that's, again, if your biggest thing is you're looking for some pop, maybe not. But, again, if you're looking at third base market, there isn't a ton of guys right now where you're like, yeah, get me that guy. That's who I want. You got Mark Vientos from the Mets, but he's got 8 home runs, but just a .218 average. I feel like the Brewers aren't going to make that move for a third baseman. I think their move is eventually going to be Jet Williams. I wouldn't be surprised if the Brewers add more pitching, maybe more to the bullpen. I don't know about another starter. I wouldn't completely take it off the table. I still don't think it's going to be Skubal, although that would be that would be fun as all HE double hockey sticks. That is CC Sabathia type of moves again. You bring him in, you pair him up with the Miz and Kyle Harrison. That threesome going into the postseason, good luck. You should you should be guaranteed at least 2 wins out of those 3 pitchers. Between those 3, you should be at least guaranteed 2 with 1 turn through the rotation. Can you find another win and 2 somewhere else? Maybe throw a little Brandon Woodruff in there and a little Logan Henderson in that. But if you're 5, if everybody's healthy, with Skubal, Miz, Harrison, Woodruff, Henderson, and then you can have some flexibility and creativity with some other ones, yeah, that would be awesome. I just don't see it happening. I just don't. I could see maybe another 4th, 5th starter. All right, Sonny Gray. What if it is Sonny Gray? What's Sonny Gray owed? But the other part is I don't know if Boston wants to do any more dealings with the Brewers, considering what has transpired in their last couple trades and such. But Sonny Gray. What do you mean? That was a weird error message in Spot Track. Okay, maybe I'll just go back here to that list because I was trying to look up over the cap to see how much he actually is owed. But Sonny Gray is what's left on his contract. It is a 2027 mutual option for $30 million with a $10 million buyout. Ugh. That's quite the chunk for. Eesh, I don't think that dollar value works for the Brewers either. No, I'm gonna have to pass. I'm gonna have to pass on Sonny Gray too. What about Casey from Detroit? 2-3, 2.27 ERA. He's currently on the injured list. You just get him for the rest of this season. I could see that being a Brewers fit on there too. So, yeah, I guess right now I don't see them making a major move. Quote, major move. And by major, I see bringing in a top 3 starter for your starting rotation or an everyday player. I can see them adding more bullpen help, a couple arms to that bullpen. Maybe another guy that, can play a 7th inning, 8th inning type of role because they seem to be kind of flexible right now with Trevor McGill and Abner Uribe with the 8th and the 9th. Maybe they want to bring in another type of, late inning guy to hand over to the 7th, a long relief guy. That I would feel comfortable with saying that I think the Brewers are going to make that move is to add more bullpen help. Right now I don't see I think we're going to see Jet Williams at some point come up and play third base. And I think that's going to be the move. All right. Cody says quarterback wins in the playoffs is the most overrated stat. A lot of elite quarterbacks get knocked out, and there are too many variables to pin on just the quarterback. Yeah, I could see that. I remember when Aaron Rodgers first started playing, me and some college friends, one of them was a Cowboys fan. It was just like back and forth between like Tony Romo and Aaron Rodgers and quarterback wins. Like that really, I think it was the Aaron Rodgers one when he lost his first playoff game. It was Arizona, and people all of a sudden had the narrative that Rodgers can't win in the playoffs. Dude made the playoffs for 1 year, and he lost one game, and it was that crazy Arizona game. And I would agree with that to the point. I think where I would add on to it is I think people overrate it too much way early in the process, like 1 or 2 games, and all of a sudden a guy can't win in the postseason. No. For the first time, this is from Opta Stats. For the second time in MLB history, the first pitcher in the majors to reach 10 wins did so while having all 10 come in relief. The other was 1959 with Roy Face. That a boy, Aaron Ashby. That a boy. Tyler says, would love to see Joe Ryan from the Twins. They did list Joe Ryan on here, but they did not list him as a best fit for the Brewers. Again, there's so many pitchers on here. I don't know if they just kind of spread the wealth. But, well, who'd they have for Joe Ryan? Cubs, Padres, A's, Diamondbacks, Braves, White Sox, Nationals, Blue Jays, Cardinals. One more year after 2026 for control. I don't know what that contract would be, but here are the pitchers with better K walk percentage this year. Mizorowski, Paul Skeens, Jacob deGrom, and Christopher Sanchez. Yeah, that would be that's not too bad. Joe Ryan would be fun for the Brewers too. I could get on board with that one. All right, we got to take a quick break. Back with plenty more, though. Keep those coming. Most overrated sports stats. Statistic, number, what you got? Hit me up. We'll be back in just a couple minutes. Summer is here, and that means it is the perfect time to give your home a fresh new look with the help from Carpet City Flooring Center in Eau Claire. Whether you are updating a family room, finishing a basement for your man cave, or refreshing the bedroom, or finally tackling that remodeling project you have been putting off, Carpet City Flooring Center has the flooring options you are looking for. From beautiful luxury vinyl planks like the Rigid Max flooring, or some carpet, tile, and more, you will find quality products and expert guidance every single step of the way. Their experienced team will help you find the right flooring that fits your style and your budget. And with professional installation available, your project can be completed quickly and correctly. Make this summer the summer that you transform your home or your space. Stop on in to our good friends at Carpet City Flooring Center in Eau Claire today and discover why so many area homeowners trust Carpet City Flooring Center for all of their flooring needs. Carpet City Flooring Center, helping you love where you live or where you work, because our studio floors, Carpet City Flooring Center, my home, man cave, the stairs, the bedrooms, Carpet City Flooring Center. So they're our good friends, and they do amazing quality work. The entire team there is awesome to work with. Jason, Aaron, Ben, et cetera, et cetera. So stop on in if you, maybe for Dad, for Father's Day this weekend too. You want to surprise Dad and do a little remodel in the man cave for him. Maybe get the putting green like we got here in the studio added to his man cave. Surprise Dad. He'd love it. Trust me. So, all right, we got a few more of you chiming in on that Shoe Doctor's bullpen line. We'll get to your comments and such a little bit later on here. So, let's switch gears, though, and chat some football. We've got Joe DeGuano joining us here this morning. So, Joe, we were talking, we were doing a little What If Wednesday and such, and a couple people brought up Micah Parsons and that. My question to you, Joe, knowing that Micah Parsons is probably not going to be playing the first few weeks, outside of Lucas Van Ness, who do you think has the biggest opportunity to impress, or maybe who do you have the most confidence in at this point? Is it Brenton Cox Jr., is it Barron Sorrell, Colin Oliver, or the rookie Danny Dennis Sutton? Who are you maybe more excited to see get this opportunity?
I'm going to go with 99. I'm going to go with Barron Sorrell. And I think you look at a little bit of the flash you saw last year, and then you look at the fact that Micah Parsons invited Sorrell and Colin Oliver down to work out with him. And I just think that and this guy from day one of the draft seemed NFL ready, or at least as close to NFL ready as you can get. So I'm going to go with 99. I think, and again, outside of Lucas Van Ness, and the curveball that I think I want to bring up, though, is you saw a little bit in some of the mini camps, Edgerrin Cooper playing that outside backup position. So, I think you're going to see some creativity from Gannon, and I think, it might come from an unexpected source. So don't be surprised early on in the year if you see Edge Cooper on the edge.
If Mike, so for part of our what if was, we just asked listeners to give us a what if in a sports scenario, and somebody had said, what if Micah Parsons comes back and he's not the same Micah Parsons and he's only at 75%? How much trouble is this defense in, and how much trouble is the secondary in? So I will ask you that. What if Micah Parsons is only at 75%? How much trouble is this defense in?
It's interesting, Dan, because Micah Parsons at 75% is better than most players 100%. So I don't think it's going to be a catastrophe. I don't think it's going to be that bad. And again, not trying to be Pollyanna about this or anything. Obviously, if Micah Parsons is not 100%, it is going to hurt. But again, Micah Parsons is a special athlete. He is a special pass rusher. So when you look at, if I'm not mistaken, two players had 12-plus sacks in their first, I believe, 4 NFL seasons, Reggie White, Micah Parsons. So, again, he's a special player. So even if he is not 100%, and maybe he's not 100% this whole season, who knows? But I would look at this and say Green Bay is still going to be fine. Now, you have to get creative a little bit more. Maybe that Edge Cooper experiment goes on a little bit longer. But but I think Green Bay would be fine. You're going from, in my opinion, a 12 or 13 win team potentially to a 10 or 11 win team. And so, is Micah Parsons that big of a difference? 1 or 2 games? Absolutely. But I still think Micah Parsons at 75, 80%, whatever that percentage turns out to be, is better than most players. And again, this is why you brought in Jonathan Gannon, because the fact that you want to get creative, you want to create mismatches, you don't want to be predictable. So I think he then schemes guys into positions to be successful. So not the end of the world. Again, we don't know how he's going to come back, but Micah Parsons is still a very, very young player. So this isn't like you're getting a guy at 31 coming off of an ACL. It's a guy who's still in his prime. So I see him coming back. I see him being healthy, and I see him being the same Micah Parsons again. That being said, if that's not the case, I don't think Packer fans need to jump off the ledge.
With obviously now we're kind of, we're not going to see this team full squad until we get to training camp at the end of July and that. But now that, mini camps and such have kind of wrapped up, did anything, from some of the practice reports and the reporters that were out there tweeting videos and such, anything kind of jump out to you?
I think the starting defensive line, that when you look at kind of depth charts and who's getting reps with the number ones, and Chris McClellan, the rookie coming in, getting reps with that number one defense. And again, of course, you've got Devontae Wyatt not practicing because of the fact that he's still coming back from that injury, but the fact that he's getting reps with the number one, the fact that Brandon Cisse is getting reps with the number one. Like I said, the Edge Cooper situation, on giving him edge spots at that 3-4. Also I thought it was interesting too when you talk about reps with the number one, Jager Burton getting reps with the number one. So that's where I was trying to just see who was getting reps with the number ones, who was getting reps with the number two. Looks like Savion Williams got a lot of reps in that top 3, and so you might see him a little bit more. But yeah, that's mostly what I'm looking for, is who's getting reps with the number ones, who's getting reps with the number twos, and where does this depth chart fall? And we all know the big question mark still, until they get back for training camp, is going to be number 8 and Josh Jacobs. What does Green Bay do with that running back position? So I think that's still the biggest question mark on this football team. And that, I think you're going to see some type of move from Goody probably before training camp to get another veteran running back in there, just in case you don't have Josh Jacobs early on or at all this football season.
You mentioned the rookie offensive lineman, and do you think, he's been getting a lot of attention and some potential, number one snaps? Whose job would be in most trouble then if he is pushing for a potential starting spot, do you think? Or where's that trickle-down effect maybe for the rest of the offensive line?
It's a great question. Burton could play at that center position. You obviously re-signed Sean Ryan to a big deal, but you could also Burton could slide into that right guard. Then Anthony Belton becomes almost that swing tackle for either Zach Tom or Jordan Morgan on that left side. So, and Aaron Banks struggled last year, but Green Bay did not cut ways with him. And so they've got a big investment in him, and they still feel that when healthy, he's the guy. So I'd probably see that right guard position, and then Anthony Belton swing out to be that swing tackle. Because right now, if you look at the swing tackle position, it might be Darian Kennard, it might be Travis Glover. So there's a lot of question marks at that position. So the trickle down, I see that if Burton slides in, it's for Belton. Belton's then that first guy off the bench.
The guy that's under the most pressure in training camp when we get to it between these two, Lucas Van Ness or Jordan Morgan, who would you pick?
Jordan Morgan. You're talking about obviously 2 number 1 draft choices, but Jordan Morgan, he's playing that left tackle position, and it is so critical to get that position down. That's one of those positions, in my opinion, that you put cornerback in there, you put quarterback in there, you put edge rusher in there, but I think left tackle given this team and the dynamic of this football team, and truly how, with or without Josh Jacobs, this is Jordan Love's football team on the offensive side of the ball. And you need that left tackle. And last year you saw the inconsistencies with Rasheed Walker. You saw how much Jordan Love was under pressure. So I would say the most pressure going into this year is Jordan Morgan. And if they hit on him, if they have their left tackle of the future, this line then becomes set. And again, I just think you're looking at the position, you're looking at the depth chart, you're looking at who else could they put in there between Lucas Van Ness and Jordan Morgan. And I truly think Morgan's got more pressure on him.
So I've been seeing some people say, what if Anthony Belton outplays, Jordan Morgan or something like that in training camp? Could you actually see a scenario where Anthony Belton is the week one starter at left tackle?
Yeah, it goes back to that Burton situation, because now you've got the domino effect. So if Burton's ready to play and you feel Anthony Belton can swing out, then you do that move. But if Burton's not ready to play, then you create a hole at that right guard position. So I think it really comes down to the trickle down in that domino. If Burton's ready to play and you feel confident to swing Anthony Belton out there. Now, Belton, in my opinion, is more of a right tackle than a left tackle. So if Jordan Morgan's not the guy, I don't know what they're going to do. One would think maybe Darian Kennard is the first one to get a rep there. But, yeah, could it happen? Absolutely. But I just think there's way too many dominoes for that to happen coming into game one. Now, that doesn't say that sometime during the season that move isn't made and the dominoes fall. I just don't see it happening before game one.
Yeah, that would be, I think, Jordan Morgan almost would have to have just an abysmal training camp in preseason, I would think, for that to happen, for Green Bay to really make that move.
Yeah, look, Joe Thomas coming into Packers mini camps, and he commented specifically on Jordan Morgan, and he talked about the fact that he is a left tackle. This is a guy that has left tackle feet. He's got a left tackle build, and so again, there's a lot riding his football team's success. You could argue Jordan Morgan is probably one of the top 5 or 6 guys on this football team that will determine success this year for Green Bay. So yeah, I would agree. He'd have to be just non-playable for Green Bay to make a move like that. So later on in the year, though, with injuries, with those types of things, could you see Belton swing out there? Absolutely. Green Bay likes flexibility with their offensive linemen. So could they do some other moves around this offensive line? Absolutely. But yeah, I think Jordan Morgan is the starter game one. And again, can't take injury into account on this, but I think he's the starter game one. And based on his college career and based on what pro scouts say about him, I think he's got the tools to be a very, very good left tackle. We'll see it on the field, though.
He's Joe DeGuano joining us this morning to chat a little green and gold. We appreciate the time as always, sir. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll catch up again next week, man.
All right, Dan. Take care, brother.
You got it. There you go. There's Joe DeGuano joining us here this morning. We got to take a quick break, but we'll be back. Send me some more of your overrated sports stats. Overrated sports stats. What you got? Like, what do you think is the biggest overrated sports statistic out there? I want to hear it, okay? Is it wins by a pitcher now? Is it something else? Where do you stand on the debate of quarterback wins? Is it a stats? Is it not a stats? Send those on over too. All right, quick break. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Summer road trips create some great memories, but sometimes accidents do happen. If a fender bender puts a dent in your plans, you can trust Superior Auto Body in Eau Claire to get your vehicle looking like new again. Their experienced team provides quality collision repair and attention to detail that helps restore your vehicle and your peace of mind. When life bumps into your vehicle, you can count on Superior Auto Body in Eau Claire. Superior Auto Body, our official Backyard Dreams partners. We got a doubleheader today. I know it's raining right now, but keep an eye out on the sky. We got a doubleheader for the Eau Claire Express today at Carson Park, taking on the Wassa Woodchucks. That was the first Northwoods League game I ever went to. Was back in my good old Little League days, and we got introduced on the field with I think at that time was the Wisconsin Woodchucks. I still have that program somewhere in storage, too, signed by some of the players. I should see if any of them ended up being major leaguers in that. But doubleheader, first game on the docket today, taking on the Woodchucks, will be at 12:05 and then 6:35. 12:05 at 6:35. So, again, keep an eye out on the weather for maybe a little bit of a adjustment and start times and such. But got to give a shout out to the Express. Did a hitting clinic yesterday for some of the kiddos, and my guy Hudson was there, and it was just a good job by the Express players at Momentum Baseball Academy. So shout out to Momentum Baseball Academy for that too, and they did such a really good job with the kiddos and such, and they'll be back at it today later on this morning. So big time shout out to the whole crew over there. C-Bomb says, if you're Mark Ananasio, the question is, what are you willing to pay for a World Series? With the lineup we have and the pitching we have, Scooble puts them in the front of the line. We could survive with a platoon at third. Would Brewers fans be okay with 2 to 4 down years to get to a World Series? We would have to deplete our strength, which is the farm system. I'd be okay with that. You know, the thing is, now, okay, if they get Scooble, obviously their chances would increase. Here's a couple of things that make me nervous about Scooble. He is coming back from injury, and from what I was told, too, it's kind of a new procedure that hurries up the recovery time. I'm going to have to talk to Dr. Crow about that and get his talk on it. But that concerns me a little bit. Essentially, it comes down to, like, nothing's guaranteed. Even adding Scooble is not guaranteed you're going to go to the World Series. It's not. Nothing in sports is guaranteed. If it was guaranteed, we wouldn't be fans. We wouldn't be holding on to all this hope and praying to our sports gods, baseball, football, basketball, whatever, for our favorite teams. The question just boils down to, are you willing to take that risk? For fans, yeah, they're probably more so willing to take the risk because, you know what? It's not their decision to make. It's Mark Ananasio. It's Matt Arnold. Is the juice worth the squeeze? We can sit here and debate about it, contemplate on it, banter about it, because that's what we do, and that's what we do best as sports fans, right? But that's the real question at hand here. Are the Brewers willing to fork over a lot of their future, a lot of their prospects for a few months when it's not guaranteed? When it's not guaranteed that it's going to get them to a World Series or win a World Series. Again, a lot of us as fans, yeah, we want that to happen. And I don't think there's anything wrong with I've said this numerous times. I don't think there's anything wrong as a Brewers fan or a sports fan to kind of change your expectations. Like 2008, this is how I always compare it. 2008, when they trade CC Sabathia or trade for CC Sabathia and that run and they made it, that was awesome. It was awesome. And it was just to get to the help. It was the first time in my life that I experienced playoffs for the Brewers. And I'll be honest with you, that's probably what got me really hooked into the Brewers and back into baseball, was what they did. It was like, we just wanted to get there, and it felt like, okay, they got there. We finally cleared it. We finally got back to the postseason, And they were just happy to be there. Now the Brewers have been to the postseason quite a bit. Expectations change, and there is nothing wrong with that. It's not being spoiled. It's not being, entitled. There's really, you can appreciate consistently making the postseason because not a lot of teams do. You can appreciate that. But I don't think within reason, there's nothing wrong with saying, okay, the goal's got to be a little bit more. Now the goal's a little bit more. We've been to the postseason a lot. That's great. But what's the ultimate goal for all of this? Is to win. Is to win a championship. We want to win championships. We want our teams to win championships. It's rare. There's only one team that can do it. But I don't think there's anything wrong with saying, okay, we love it. We love that we're playing in October. We love that we're playing postseason baseball. We love it. We appreciate it. But maybe now we just take another step. We've taken those steps to where we are a consistent presence, a consistent threat to make it to the postseason. Can we just maybe up the ante a little bit and try to get a little bit further in? That's kind of where I'm at for the Brewers. Is I appreciate that they're consistently up there, competing for division titles and getting to the postseasons. Now it's like, okay, I've experienced that, and I think that's a natural progression. Now it's just like, okay, let's take the next step. We were kind of like that with Badger football, right? For the longest time before all the last few years. It's like, okay, Rose Bowls, Big Ten conferences. It's like, can we take that next step and maybe try to compete for a national championship? That's kind of gone by the wayside here for a while. All right, let's take a quick break as we start to wrap up the second hour. Coming up in about 10 minutes, we'll talk with Ty from the Slab Factory here in Eau Claire for our Inside the Hobby segments. So we'll take a quick break and be right back after these few words. Looking for the perfect summer hangout? Well, then you need to make your way on over to the VFW Post 305 in Eau Claire. You can enjoy some beautiful views overlooking the river, some great food, cold beverages, and some of the best live local music that you will find anywhere in the Chippewa Valley. Whether you're meeting some friends after work or spending some summer evenings outdoors, the VFW Post 305 is the place to be. Great views, great music, great times. That's the VFW Post 305 in Eau Claire. And don't forget about their Father's Day brunch coming up this Sunday. All right, you can check out the menu on their Facebook page, but it is loaded with some good stuff over there at the VFW Post 305. So, all right, we've got a few minutes left. We're going to talk with Ty from Slab Factory coming up just at 8 o'clock here this morning, but continue to send me some what-ifs. What are some of your what-if sports scenarios, takes? We've had some good ones so far this morning, so keep sending those on over, and we'll throw it out to the rest of the listeners to get their takes too. So we also have a little, we got a little, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? All right, that might be coming up probably in the 8 o'clock hour here too. So, but we'll get back to some more Brewers talk as we get set for Game 2 of this series tonight. Brandon Sprode on the mound for the Brew Crew. Gavin Williams is going for the Guardians. Gavin 9-3 so far this season, looking to pick up his 10th win on the season. And when you look at it for Major League Baseball, for wins, Aaron Ashby's at the top with 10. So Gavin, he can join him with his 10th win today if he were to get it. But hopefully the Brewers can go out there and not allow that to happen. Brewers have 3 pitchers in the top 5 in wins. How about that? Aaron Ashby at 10-0. Kyle Harrison at 8-1. Jacob Mizorowski at 8-2. Are they the only team? Gotta be. Yeah. I like seeing Milwaukee. Top 5. Heck yeah, man. I love that. Love it. So, but we'll talk some more Brewers coming up in a little bit later on in the second half of the program here this morning. So, but we went through that list of 100 trade, ESPN's 100 trade candidates and that. You can check it out for yourself, but kind of scroll through it and look at some of those names. Take Scooble out of the equation. All right, just take him out of this one for now. Is there another name on that list that intrigues you? Like, oh, okay, I'm kind of interested in that one, or I'd be open to that, or man, I'd really like to see that move happen. Take Scooble out. We had Joe Nathan as a pick a little bit early on. Twins pitcher. Twins are such a with the AL Central where it's at. How aggressive are they going to be? I know Byron Buxton's listed at number 2 on there, but he's got that no trade clause on there. So I don't know. I'm trying to get. Let me go to over the cap here because Spot Track is not working for me. What is Joe Nathan's contract? Like I just want to know how much he is. Oh, so he signed a. Okay, that's Joe Nathan's. This is not what I was looking for here. I gotta. All right. Well, I'll see if I can find what his contract. I'm just kind of curious what he's owed for the rest of it. If anybody has that, because for whatever reason, Spot Track's not working for me. So, but maybe we'll look that up a little bit later on. I'm just curious what he's owed. What's the rest of his contract look like? Because I do think that's going to factor in whether the Brewers make any moves, big moves, or anything like that towards the deadline. I still have my apprehensions on that, but hopefully. Maybe I'm a little wrong. We'll see what happens when we get closer to the trade deadline. Lots of time yet between now and before they have to make that move or any moves. So, all right, shot clock's going to cut me off here in about a minute. So We'll get to some news updates, and then we'll talk a little bit about the hobby of card collecting. We're going to talk with Ty from Slab Factory. He'll be joining us. Always look forward to these conversations with Ty and such. So we'll have him on here for a little bit. And then we'll get back to some more baseball talk and get back to some more of your what-ifs and some good chats and some good conversations on that Shoe Doctor's bullpen line or the Section 105 chats on YouTube. You can chime in anywhere over there. Again, that bullpen line number, 715-830-1912. And give me a name or a nickname if you haven't texted in before or you've texted in and I don't have your name. That way we can give you some credit. All right. Quick break. We'll be back in just a couple minutes. Third hour, kick it off right now on this June 17th. Thanks for hanging out with us and, well, making us a part of your morning as we make the turn on this week. We've got a doubleheader today for the Eau Claire Express going up against the Wausau Woodchucks, 12:05 first pitch, and then 6:35. So rain, go away so we can get these games in today. So, but head on over to the ballpark. Got nothing going on today. Maybe you have the day off. We got the kiddos around. Send them on over there. And then tonight again, second game against maybe we got to call this the war on 29 or something like that. Get a little bit of a rivalry between the two. So, but again, doubleheader today for the Express, looking to bounce back after falling to lacrosse yesterday. But where the things are at and standings wise, it's pretty tight towards the top. Well, it's one of my favorite days of the week, every 2 Wednesdays, because we get to chat with Ty from the Slab Factory here in Eau Claire and Madison too. How you doing, man?
I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm good.
Good to see you again.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Been kind of a crazy last few days in terms of Mizorowski markets and such. So I got a confession to make. After Friday night's game, I did go on eBay and I'm like, do I need to get a Mizorowski card? And just kind of scroll through and
it is
and such. So
the after performance hype is really tempting to go grab something, especially when it's like if you're doing it in real time, right? Like I have honestly, this is one of the funniest stories. It was pretty early on in my sort of like collecting. I had been collecting, but I hadn't been like, sort of collecting to flip, and this is a few years ago now that Asante Samuel had 4 interceptions in the first half. Asante Samuel Jr. had 4 interceptions in the first half, I think, against Trevor Lawrence.
Okay, yep.
And then the Jaguars came back and won that game, if you recall. Well, what happens after a 4 interception first half when I go online and overpay for some Asante Samuel cards and then they lose and they don't move on to that next round of the playoffs is that nobody remembers that Asante Samuel had 4 interceptions in the first half and his market is not necessarily any better than it was. I think a lot of people saw that with Wemby this past week when, people were buying Wembanyama heavy in the first half of that game 4. When they blew that huge lead. It was game 4, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And,
that epic comeback, yeah.
And then huge comeback, series basically over at that point, So like, the buying live in real time is tricky if you're trying to do it for the sake of, buying for an actual profit. But, I mean, it's fine. Look, there's a chance that this is the lowest you'll get Mizorowski,
Right.
Although the lowest was the day before that, right? So
right.
It's always tough. But yeah, his market has, as far as like individual card markets go, guys like Churio can have an incredible week, and his market fluctuates a little bit up. When a massive performance like Mizorowski's happens on top of what's already been an incredible season, and his market had been creeping up, that's when you start to see the just absolutely crazy swings.
So when I was looking that up, I mean, you had different variations of his rookie cards, whether it was Topps or Bowman and such. And then, you see other cards too, not necessarily with Mizorowski, but I've noticed it with other cards where it's like their debut is stamped on there, the date on that. Is that considered a rookie because it's their debut, even though there might be a different rookie card too?
Yeah. Awesome question. A couple of things to note on that. So like, in like Topps Chrome, for example, or Topps Series 1, you'll see, or Series 2, you'll see a rookie card and you'll see a debut card.
Yep.
The debut card does not sell as well as the true rookie card, but it still is a rookie card.
Okay.
Yeah. You'll see that. It's been like that for a long time. The other thing, too, is that like a Topps Chrome rookie is, in a vacuum, more valuable than a Bowman Chrome rookie. I don't make the rules. I don't know.
Is it just brand recognition, do you think?
I think it's like considered more of their true rookie card.
Okay.
But it doesn't mean that it's not a rookie card in Bowman. It doesn't mean it's not valuable in Bowman. It just means that it's considered more of their true rookie card. Some people would argue that the paper stock, like Series 1 and Series 2, that's more of a true rookie card. But it's, the Chrome stock is usually going to sell better than the paper stock, and there's ups and downs of that. But yeah, the debut is a rookie card. It's just not considered quite as valuable.
So is it Topps Now That's with the moments that
Yeah.
is that. So did they have one with Mizorowski after that game too?
They did, yeah.
Okay.
I snagged a whole bunch of those.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I did. We talked about Topps Now before. I'll mention again that like it's basically you order cards after a big event happens. Topps posts these cards, and then in doing so, they like basically. They will throw in, variations into those, depending on how many you purchase, your chances go up at getting one of the ones numbered to 99 or numbered to 50 or numbered to 10 or even the one of 1, right? So there's in every single one of those Topps Now sets, if you buy more of them, you got a better chance at those things. I don't usually go very heavy on Topps Now, but that was probably the most I've gotten as far as like that Mizorowski outing. I'm so high on what he is and his potential and
right.
Yeah.
So staying with the rookie ones too, because I think this is more of a thing in baseball. Like I've seen Jesus Mate cards, out there too, and are those considered rookie cards, or like should kids be loading up on them? Because sometimes I see them in a dollar bin or something. Like the Cheerio was kind of like that before he came up. Like, what are those cards considered?
Yeah, so I actually brought some cards to talk through that today because it is a very weird, like baseball is a different world than any other sport when it comes to what a true rookie card is versus a prospect card versus your first Bowman card. So first Bowman cards are considered like the equivalent of an NBA or NFL rookie card in terms of the value hierarchy. Like, so the first Bowman is your first prospect card.
That's the one I was thinking of.
A Jesus Mate first Bowman. Okay, so he's still in the minors probably for at least a year or two. And this first Bowman card, his autographs and his base cards, that first Bowman is considered to be where the most value is in his sort of like the hierarchy of that versus a rookie card. A first Bowman is worth more than a rookie.
Okay.
All right, in a vacuum. But like because he's still a prospect and more products are coming out, he'll still have cards in future, Bowman Chrome product that are not rookie cards, but they are a prospect card, and they fall between that first Bowman and that rookie card. So you'll often see like prospect autos that are not first Bowman. You'll often see those sell a decent amount worse than the both first Bowman and rookie cards.
Okay.
So the value hierarchy is first Bowman, rookie card, and then the prospect card somewhere in there along with all the vet cards after that.
So that one right now, whenever he makes his rookie debut, that one would be kind of the higher value one?
Yes, and like obviously the parallels of that, right?
Yeah.
But I brought a couple of like, this isn't a rookie card, but this is a Jackson Churio. It's a second year autograph numbered to 25, PSA 10, card that I picked up because I think it's an image variation, and I thought the image was really cool.
It does look
really
sweet.
like this card,
yeah.
Right? I picked that up, and then I also picked this up recently. So this is Jackson Churio's first Bowman non-auto out of Sapphire, numbered to 10. Okay.
I've seen that image, not that red background, but yep.
But that's like his iconic, first Bowman picture,
Yep.
right? So between these two cards, one of them is an autograph. One of them is, an image variation. The other one's numbered to 10. The other one's his first Bowman. This is worth about 10 of these.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Right? So like that first Bowman carries a lot of weight, especially if it's low numbered, like this one being numbered to 10.
Okay.
So just trying to illustrate the difference between like, what that first Bowman, badge can mean.
Right. Because I think I know I would have thought an autographed would have been worth more.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's easy to, and the thing is it might be worth more to you. So that's great. Go pick up those autos, like you can get that, Churio rookie. You could before he started hitting the cover off the ball, find this card for not graded for somewhere around $200, but in a PSA 10, it's worth around $350 to $400. But yeah, that means that the Churio prospect card is worth, a decent amount more there.
Right. So, so back to Mizorowski because Ty has graciously donated a couple cards for a giveaway here today. And one of them is, the Bowman Sterling Jacob Mizorowski card over there too. So is that considered A rookie?
It's a rookie refractor.
Okay.
So what it's called is, so that's an insert.
Mm-hmm.
So when we talk about a base card versus an insert, inserts are not worth as much as base cards in like, again, I keep saying in a vacuum because comparing it to the comparable, right?
Right.
But that card is still right now. I'd actually have to check. I picked it up when it was very cheap, and his stuff is just skyrocketing. So I don't know. It could be $20, but right now I have no idea.
Right.
But I'll mention the other one. Excuse me, the other card, just because I forgot to mention this beforehand. That is the team logo border SP. So that's a short print.
Okay.
So it's not numbered, but there are only so many copies of that card. Right.
Okay.
And so that's a short print right there.
Yeah.
So a couple of players of the week there. I didn't have any Churio to give away for you today.
No, Byron Buxton and Jacob Mizrahi. I think some Brewers fans would like to see Byron Buxton come across the border.
That is my dream.
Right?
I know that like everyone's talking Scooble, and they should. It's a valuable conversation. We can do sports talk here too. It doesn't have to just be hobby talk. No, but I love the idea of adding that pop to the outfield, and I know that means a bit of a backlog at DH first, subs, maybe throw Vaughn at third a little bit more. I have no idea, but like, I really like, the idea of adding that kind of home run power to a team that our leading home run hitters got like 12, 13 home runs.
13 Bowers, yeah.
So like, he's got 22, 23 homers right now.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's crazy. He's unbelievable.
I love watching him play center field and just at the plate.
We'll see if he actually wants to get traded though. He's got that no trade clause, and he likes being a Twin. And I'm not trying to drag
that.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm not trying to drag Buxton away. As a longtime Bucks fan, I get sick of the Giannis talk really quickly. It's been only going on for 10 years.
Yeah.
But so like I'm not trying to drag a star away from their market, but it'd be nice for us to give a nice package of prospects for Buxton.
And I think that's what kind of intrigues me more, or really enamors me more for Buxton, because he's a guy who's like, I'm happy here.
Yeah.
I'm fine with staying here.
And he is under contract for at least a little bit, right? Team control for a little bit. I think so. So, I mean, I don't know. I like that better than a Scooble rental off of a surgery.
I agree. Yeah. Especially a surgery that I recently found out it was kind of more of a...
Oh, it's very new.
Yeah, like it speeds up the process, which makes me a little nervous too.
Yeah.
So, but back to some rookie cards too, because I had asked you this question because I had seen a video about it a little bit earlier, and it was like the Jordan card. We have this Michael Jordan rookie card that I think all of us know. Like I can picture it right now in my mind. But there was a video that actually had 3 different Jordan rookie cards. And, there was the one that we all know, and then there was a couple other ones there. So it kind of goes back to, like, is there such a thing that I kind of want to ask you, like, and you kind of touched on it a little bit earlier, but, like, that's that rookie card. That's somebody's rookie card.
Yeah.
Especially in today's day where there's different brands and there's so many options. Is there still this perceived, okay, that's the go-to rookie card for a lot of these guys? Yeah,
so I mean, the rookie badge, the RC badge that started appearing on rookie cards at a certain point in time, early 2000s. No, I mean, I guess it's been in other products, it's been longer than that too. But anyway, more common then, has changed that confusion level a little bit. But like, I'm not the expert on these 80s Jordans, but I can tell you what I do know. Is that the 86 Fleer, which is the iconic card that you're picturing. Obviously, we all know Jordan's rookie year was not 1986, right? I mean, his rookie year, he was drafted in 84?
85.
Right? 85.
Yep.
85. So they have star rookies, which are like promotional cards. They were promos. They were not something that you could pull out of a pack.
Okay.
I don't remember where they came from. I know that there were some sponsored ones too. Like there's a Star Light, which is a Miller Lite sponsored one, actually, believe it or not. Those are really, really sick, and they are very expensive. But I think that in a world filled with a lot of, the number of graded 86 Fleer Jordans is skyrocketing, even today.
Yeah.
And so that population is really high, pop count on a graded card. And so the star cards are rarer, and they are maybe not as recognized, but that also adds to the appeal for some people. So like it's like the 86 Fleer is recognized as his first rookie card because it was the first that you could pull out of a pack. Okay. So it was the first. You can buy the set, a box, a booster box, and open that, and you can find that card.
Mm-hmm.
Can't do that with any of those other, rookies that are recognized as possible rookies that were actually during his rookie year.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that's where that comes from.
It still mind boggles me that there's still boxes that people open and opening up packs to find these Jordan cards.
Yeah, I mean, the richest of the rich typically.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't have to be. You don't have to be 1%er to open those boxes. They're crazy expensive, but they're not. Getting a couple of packs out of a box is not impossible. I mean, it's impossible for probably you and me, but like it's it's not impossible for people. But you're certainly better off buying the card, frankly.
Right.
Like in a PSA 2, like
you're guaranteed you're going to get it then.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's The Jordan market is interesting. If you have any 1980s or even early 90s Jordans in your collection, they're all kind of going up right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's not to say that the others aren't, but like people are finding like more and more reason to be like, oh, I should be getting in on Jordan, and if I'm going to, it's going to be late 80s, early 90s.
Mm-hmm. I want to go back to baseball. Cooper Pratt, we saw his debut, since we're talking rookies and such too. So. Does he have any card? I mean, is it the Bowman first?
He has first Bowman's out there.
Okay.
Yep. We had a couple of his autos at the shop for a little bit. He's got some other stuff too, but it's, again, his prospect cards.
Mm-hmm.
He does not have a rookie card yet, and you won't see a rookie card for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably going to be either some product at the tail end of this year, probably not though, or it's going to be like first beginning of the next year type stuff. I mean, like Mizorowski's rookie card, you didn't see that until, I'm trying to think of the first ones. Might have been Bowman's Best or possibly Heritage. Either way, stuff that came out this spring. Right. So like it takes some time for them to get into that rookie card. And by the time they do, sometimes they're not even a rookie anymore. I mean, like Mizorowski is interesting because Bowman is doing this new thing with the red rookie exclusive badge.
Mm-hmm.
The red rookie badge is like, if they win rookie of the year, then the cards with that red rookie badge have additional value to trade into Fanatics for credit.
Okay.
Or you can hold on to it, and if they get to so many All-Star games and win an MVP or win a Cy Young or whatever, then that value of that card to Fanatics as far as trade-in value is concerned goes up.
Okay.
So it's kind of a fun thing.
Yeah.
But it also, like Mizorowski's red rookie exclusive came out this year. He can't win rookie of the year this year.
Right.
He would have had to win it last year. And so the fact that it came out like a month ago makes no sense.
Right.
So it's just kind of a weird, thing. But anyway, all of that to say, Pratt's rookie stuff won't be seen for a little bit, but you can still get his prospect stuff. And I'm sure it'll be pretty hot for a little bit here.
Mm-hmm. Right, exactly. So you mentioned Wemby a little bit ago. Now, considering that series, has his stock gone down? Jalen Brunson, I know we talked about it a while ago, but now that he's got the championship.
I want to talk about your take on Brunson not being the greatest Knick of all time. I don't think that, like, you're crazy for saying that.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that, like, first of all, correct me if I'm wrong. There's no Knicks that have won 2 championships for the franchise, right?
Did Willis?
I could be wrong. So because that's a pretty good argument.
Willis won 2 of them.
2.
Yep.
Okay, never mind. So that's a pretty good argument, right? But I will say that, like, this is one of the more improbable ones.
Mm-hmm.
This is one where Brunson absolutely carried the end of every single game of the series.
Mm-hmm.
They lived and died with his ability, and they won a championship against a favorite, a pretty strong favorite.
Yep.
I just think that that's hard to beat, along with the fact that he's just this pure scorer who is the most clutch we've seen since, late 2000s or 2010 Kyrie type stuff. I don't really think I have a better example. But yeah, it's, Brunson has a very good argument for best Knick of all time.
Is he a top 75 player of all time right now?
Yes.
You think so?
Yes. He's cracking that top 50. Like,
Okay.
almost, he's
Okay.
like in that range. Well, because, like, I was seeing a list recently, and like like for example, like James Harden is on pretty much everyone's top 50 list because he's one of the greatest scoring guards of all time, and who also, at points in his career was averaging 10 plus assists. It's hard to beat that statistically, but like, I don't know. I'm very close to putting Brunson over Harden, like, because Harden has not done any meaningful winning. So like,
that's what it kind of boils down to, right?
It's that weighing of one versus the other. And like, the other thing I love about Brunson is he did not have pedigree. He went to Villanova, sure. Like, but he was not some top pick. No. And even when he was with the Mavericks, he was not used properly. And he was supposed to be like Yogi Ferrell. I don't know, and then he just ended up.
That's a good Indiana reference, right?
But he just ended up being, this. And how incredible is that at being a small guard like that who can do that? I don't know. I think bringing a championship to New York after such a long time is just special. But yeah,
and a dominating playoff performance from him and the Knicks.
Yes.
I mean, not just that champ, but throughout the whole
playoffs. They just steamrolled.
Yeah,
it's
one of the most impressive dominating
performances
we've seen in the NBA in a long time.
I'm still so shocked that Boston did not get past the 76ers. It was the weirdest series to me. Just so weird. I thought Boston had a really good shot.
I did too. I mean, you get Tatum back, and
it was very weird. Yeah. But anyway, their markets though. Brunson's is crazy. Don't buy a Brunson right now. I mean, it'll eventually cool off, especially like when football season starts. People are kind of like, or when it's about to start, people are like, I don't really care about basketball right now. But then like Wembanyama, it's a really good time to buy Wembanyama in my opinion, because we talked about this last time. No matter what happens, and now we know what happened, like he'll be back,
Right.
Like that Spurs team is so good. Harper is so good. Harper's another decent buy. But like these guys are so good and they're so young and they're going to learn from this. The Thunder last year were kind of a rare example of winning before they suffered. You have to suffer before you win, like most of the time.
Right.
The Knicks did. Bucks did. A lot of these, so many of these franchises that win, I mean, Boston did somewhat. They had their championship runs of different decades, but they had to suffer a little bit too. It just, this team had to go through that, I think. And like Wembanyama has some growing up to do. And I think like it's a really good time to buy his stuff and sit on it until, he's the MVP front runner halfway through next season. And then you can start looking at, okay, where am I at?
Right. So with the NBA draft coming up next week too, I don't know if if like the NFL draft where we saw people signing their cards right away.
Yeah, they're going to definitely be doing that.
Is that okay?
I'm sure. Yeah. I would be shocked if they don't. I mean, Topps has the rights to everything now, so these guys are going to certainly be signing autographs. They did it last year too. So there will be Topps now that you can go get, and people will go for that for sure. I am very intrigued by this draft. I think it's really interesting. I think there's a lot of different ways it could go at the top. I'm also obviously interested in seeing if Giannis is out the door or if he's, that's a very interesting storyline. I saw some terrible mock trade the other day that these things are just stressing me the heck out. If we get like one first round pick, Khalil Ware and like, Jaime Jaquez Jr. for Giannis, which this is the internet. There's no way that's happening.
Right.
Horst is not going to like do that. But I'm just saying if there's some sort of trade that is not absolutely loaded up with picks, loaded up with talent, and Giannis is gone, I'm just going to – I don't know. Like, it's tough.
If he's gone, I want a bunch of – just rebuild everything and start like what the Spurs did and Thunder and all that. Yeah.
But on the draft, you're not going to see rookie cards for a little bit from these guys. So, like, you'll start to see stuff – gosh, I mean, you won't see rookie stuff until – I guess Topps has it now, so it might be a little different. We'll see. But you probably won't see rookie stuff until the season is already underway by a couple of months, I would say.
Okay. Topps 2 now, or Topps 2 for baseball.
Just Series
dropped,
2.
Series 2 dropped, was it last week?
Yeah.
Is it similar to Topps 1?
Yeah, Topps Series 1 and Series 2 are very similar. They just include different variations of base cards, different inserts. They sometimes have... they add rookies that weren't in Series 1 if they came up in that time period or something like that. But Yeah, it's very similar, and it's the hobby boxes are very similar, right? Your hobby box has one auto or relic, right? If you buy one of those boxes, by the way, and you don't hit an auto or a relic, reach out to us for advice. You can submit those for with Topps to get either a new box or something sent to you, like an auto or relic sent to you.
Okay.
If you don't get what's promised or whatever, you can submit with Topps for a redemption.
Interesting. I did not know that either. So, all right, before I let you go, World Cup soccer, is that market kind of going up, or is it still early? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No, I mean, every time the World Cup comes around, people remember that soccer exists. As far as the general collecting market, I'm not talking about in general. Obviously, soccer is the global sport, so I'm not trying to talk crap about that. But in terms of the collecting market, people start to remember. Oh yeah, so it's. There's usually some sort of Team USA hero. Pulisic is kind of being touted as that in the card market, but he's not that guy anymore, really. I mean, he's good, but he's not that guy anymore. So I'm interested to see if there's a U.S. player who really stands out in this run, because then his cards are probably going to go, creep up steadily over the next 3-4 years until the next one.
Maybe it'll be Antonio Freeman's kid.
Could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be a cool story.
He's anything like Antonio Freeman, I'm sure.
Right. Yeah. Definitely. So, anything else before I let you go that you want to throw out there?
Oh, I'll mention we're about to actually post the details finally, but that Pax and Pines card show is coming up August 9th at Brewing Project. It's not going to be a huge show, but it's going to be a really good educational show, good for families and kids, good for parents to grab a beer. Working out some details to maybe get Dan to come out. I think that'll be a nice time. And we're going to post more details as we go. There's going to be some fun stuff for kids to do. There's going to be vendor table bingo where you can get some free stuff if you get all the different, boxes checked off on your bingo card. But we're here to help work deals. We're here to help, kids with their collections and families. And there's going to be good stuff for people who are just collectors who want to buy some high-end cards too, right? It's for everyone, but it's, about 20 tables and about 8 or 9 vendors taking up those 20 tables.
And it'll be at the Brewing Project.
It'll be at the Brewing Project in the upstairs area at the Brewing Project.
Perfect space up there for that.
Yeah,
too,
August 9th from noon till 6. That's a Sunday.
Mark it on your calendars. It's not even during football season yet.
Yeah.
So you can get in there and don't have to worry about it.
No excuse at all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So.
Perfect.
Right. Ty, thanks, man. I always love our conversations.
Me too.
It's so much fun.
I'd do this every day if I could.
Dude, I probably could too. All right, so we got to take a quick break, but we'll be back with plenty more coming up after these few words. Big thanks again to Ty from Slab Factory for joining us for our Inside the Hobby chat. Always fun conversations with him. Hey, reminder, summer puts your vehicle to the test, and AJM Automotive is ready to help you win that battle. With 2 convenient Eau Claire locations, AJM Automotive can handle everything from oil changes and inspections to brakes, tires, and major repairs. Before your next road trip, make sure your vehicle is ready for wherever summer takes you. Trust the team at AJM Automotive. 2 locations, 1 commitment, keeping you safely on the road all summer long. I know we're a little bit behind, so we got a couple breaks yet, but we got to take before the top of the hour here. But we've got Luke joining us here again because I do have to cut out just a little bit, not as early as last time, because I timed it out this time. I had to go get shoes last time for the kid. So about the shoes. Yeah. So, but we'll still got baseball clinic. He did wear. Well, he had to. It was either that or Crocs and switching in the cage. I didn't think Coach Varsho would appreciate seeing Crocs in the bat cage.
Someone would not be playing for the Express this year.
But no, yeah, or maybe in 10 years.
Yeah, I got to give it a little bit of time.
Yeah,
I think they're doing fine without him so far, so they can wait.
By the way, heads up, the Express did post about 45 minutes ago. Games are still scheduled as planned at the original time, but just be weather aware and check their Facebook page for updates on times.
Very much a TBD kind of day, so
yep.
Just be. I'm very much at the ready because I'm singing the anthems for both games, so I will be very much on call today to sing.
12:05 and 6:35, the original game times out there. So it'll be the Wausau Woodchucks, the team that my first Northwoods League game was against the. I still have that program guide.
Really?
I'll have to dig it out because there's autographs on there.
Wow.
Our Little League team got introduced and went on the field, and
nice.
So I'll have to dig that out of storage and see if there's any pro ball players on that.
What
list.
year was that?
Oh gosh, it'd be mid-90s.
Okay.
So,
jeez, that is a ways back.
Yep.
Wow.
I can't even tell you the team
That's
that
like
they played.
Original Northwoods League. Original Northwoods.
Because our team got selected. I don't know if this was a thing anybody else remembers, but it was the local Hardees to nominate your team for like an express night.
Yes.
So one of our teammates ended up getting selected. So we all got out there, and it was like we got introduced for our positions. But here's the kicker in this. So I was the pitcher, but the kid who won it wanted to be introduced with the pitcher. So I got booted to short. So I got introduced with the shortstop. Like you had to go with your positions and such. So,
do you remember the shortstop?
I don't.
Okay, because maybe that was the major leaguer.
Yeah,
if there was one.
If there was, I'd have to look at the roster.
Yes, that's a good program to find. I'd love to see what
it's in a tote. I know I still have it.
Okay.
So I'll
Scan
dig it out today.
and put it online.
Yep. I'll look at the roster. I'm curious to see who they played that night.
Yeah. You try to think who's been around long. I mean, that's easy to find who was in the Northwoods League in the mid-'90s, but who was on the rosters? Again, probably no one significant, but I don't know.
Because I believe it still was the Wisconsin Woodchucks.
At the time, they started that way. Remember Jim Gantner was the manager by the mid-aughts when the Express started? Because there were a couple times like, whoa, Jim Gantner's on the field. That's pretty cool.
Yep, I remember that too.
Jim Gantner and Randy Reddy are the 2 former Brewers I remember would be managers in the Northwoods League. I don't know. I think there have been others probably, but yeah, they both come around. Cool.
Cody, with the text a little bit earlier, said Brewers are like walking into a cold lake and getting to the waist without just jumping in. Sometimes you just got to go take the dive. You've been wet all day. We were talking about trades and stuff. I love those analogies. Those are fun.
That's a pretty good one, yes.
All right, you're a Twins fan. We've mentioned a couple of Twinnies of Buxton and Joe Ryan, and ESPN's got their annual 100 trade candidates. And
Ryan Jefferson there?
He is.
No surprise.
And they put, I think it was like 85% chance of him being dealt.
Not surprised, because I think he's coming up as a free agent, so logically you'd want to take advantage of that.
Yeah. I would love Buxton, but and it's not like I want to poach him away from the Twins and that. I think part of it is, one, well, he's a really good player, but two, I respect the heck out of that guy because, I don't know, I have this, maybe it's because I'm getting old now, affinity towards players who want to stay. especially when their teams aren't that great.
He's kind of the opposite of some players.
Right.
I mean, not a lot are the get me out of here after half a year of a 6-year contract.
And I feel like baseball is the best at that, a lot of those players.
Right.
And I know contracts are difficult to move in that, but you don't really hear, I mean, and I always say this, like the star players, what do you think about Major League Baseball? Mm-hmm. They're not really the me guys.
No.
Ohtani, Judge, heck, Paul Skeens.
Which is funny because, I mean, on the one hand, it's much more of a team sport because outside of a pitcher, one guy can't make that much of a difference. Mm-hmm. On the other hand, it is very individualized because a first baseman does first baseman things. Yep. Left fielder has a particular set of skills, that sort of stuff. I am struggling to think of someone who, I mean, you've heard certain instances. I think probably Bryce Harper might have been an example. Frustration with the Nationals. Mm-hmm. But there's not now frustration with the Phillies, so that's gone quiet as of late. But you don't hear too much of that.
I mean, Trout even, too. I know he's been banged up in that, but you don't really hear anything about him.
No, it's at least a lot more muted, if not, it's not non-existent. I'm sure it happens, but you don't hear it. Definitely not to NBA levels, largely not to NFL levels, not to NHL levels. You hear it in the NHL as well. Mm-hmm. Really, all three of those, you'll hear plenty of get me out of here kind of things. Soccer to a certain degree, even though it seems as though there it's more other clubs just coming in and saying, we want your superstar player. Like, but how we're going to make it happen. Baseball's quiet that way. Buxton, especially, given that he's had a lot of reason to want to go. And there were insinuations during the offseason that he was like, all right, what are we doing here? Maybe I do need to get out of here if you all don't have any clue of what's up. So he's off to a great start, obviously. Mm-hmm. The Twins, surprise, surprise now they're going into one of their upswings. So right now, let's see. Let's do the whole, do we have playoff? So wild card right now, the Twins are 2 games back. They're
that's
not
the thing, too.
that
That's
out
like,
of it.
right? I mean, that's the other part in this whole thing.
I mean, and now finally, the top 2 wild card qualifiers right now are definitively above 500. Tampa Bay, Cleveland, and Tampa Bay's back and forth in New York. So one of the AL East top 2 teams and Cleveland. Or Chicago. They're kind of flipping back and forth. So one of those 2. The Athletics are 36 and 37. The Twins are 35 and 40. That's not that different. Toronto and Texas are in between. I would think Toronto probably gets better at some point. The others, I know a lot of people were high on Athletics, but but the point is, you go through all these teams, you can see where the Twins could get lapped pretty quickly. So I think you still want to trade them off. Any assets that you have, you can get something for Joe Ryan. And he's pitched pretty well this year. You can get something for Ryan Jeffers. He hasn't been like their number 1 guy, but he's a plenty talented guy who's probably going to leave in free agency. So try to get some assets. That's a logical move no matter what. Buxton's the interesting one because he so likes playing with the Twins. And I've said it before. I think I said it even yesterday. The Braves make the most amount of sense because he's from Georgia.
Yep.
Outside of that, I don't know if he's going to want to go somewhere else unless the Twins do fire sale to the sequel this late July. And they might. I don't think they will, given how Tom Pohlad has been all like, we're going to try to compete. They may still want to sell stuff off, but I don't know that they're going to blow up the team again. Like the Louis Varland trade looks horrible in retrospect, given how well he's pitched for Toronto. Though some of the other moves are kind of working out. So this is a long way of saying I don't think Byron Buxton's going to be a Milwaukee Brewer. Would you trade for Byron Buxton? You are now Matt Arnold. I'm declaring you a Milwaukee Brewer front office guy.
If that means like a Garrett Mitchell goes over there, why not? If Byron Buxton's like, I'll go play.
Yeah.
Cheerio and Buxton, yes, 100%.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. For a very split second there, I heard Churio, and I went, yes, I will take a trade for Jackson Churio. Nope. Right. No, not happening at all. I'm trying to think of the outfield depth of the Twins. I would hope that they would get the right kind of return. Now that it's Zell in charge instead of Falvey, maybe it's going to be a little different this year. We'll see. I'm 50-50 on a Buxton move. The likelihood of it happening. I definitely could see it happening. The value that you would get for it, of course, he's always a potential injury away from that value cratering. But I could see it happening. But I'll put it this way. If it doesn't happen this year, it's never going to happen.
Yeah.
It's probably as hot as he's going to be right now.
Yeah. All right, we got to take a quick break. Back with plenty more, though, after these few words. Summer is a season for some golf, some softball, some pickleball, running, and staying active, but aches and pains, they can quickly slow you down, and that's where Chippewa Valley Orthopedics and Sports Medicine comes on in. Their experienced team helps weekend warriors and athletes of all ages get back to doing what they love with expert care and treatment options designed to keep you moving. Play more, hurt less. Chippewa Valley Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Also know it's state high school baseball tournament continues to roll along here today. So I know they had some weather delays and such yesterday, but nonetheless, it's going to be Divisions 1 and 2 are going to be in action, which includes Somerset is going to be in action today, taking on Pewaukee. So, but we'll start to wrap that up in the next couple of days here for the high school prep season. But Brandon will help us break it all down at the end of the week here on Friday. So just again, a really quick note. I do have to take one more quick break, so don't yell at me. Just went a little long, but that's okay.
It's a talk show. Talk.
We'll be fine. So, but we'll talk some more baseball coming up in the next hour, too, as we get set for Game 2 between Brewers and the Guardians. We are less than a week away, and still nothing left.
Giannis watch.
Still nothing.
No new intel today.
The latest I saw was from NBA insider Jake Fisher saying, quote, the Bucks continue to signal to rival teams and agents that they plan to have as many as 3 first-round picks in this draft. 3. So 2 more than their current allotment, which would help explain why so many rival teams have been projecting that Milwaukee will at last push ahead with plans to trade its face of the franchise.
When are we going to start getting the other teams are annoyed with Milwaukee? Why won't the Bucks just do it for everyone else?
Yeah. I think we are at the point it's a game of chicken now.
Yeah.
Teams have their packages. The packages are out there, and the Bucks are just going to just wait it out and see if there's a team that gets a little bit more desperate than the other. And just adds a little bit more to it to get it across the finish line.
It's a smart move to do sometimes.
I think that's honestly, I think that's where we're at this point, because how much more negotiation could be really going on right now?
Yeah. Unless you're involving multiple teams, then that gets more complicated. But I'm dreading the 18 second-round picks that are going to be part of this and trying to do the math on that.
That's why I like the NFL's. Like, you can only trade 3 future first-round picks.
Yeah.
That way, we're not talking about 2030s. First-round picks.
It'll be like 2034, and then we're going to look at it and go, oh, the Bucks draft. Oh, no. That's the one that they traded, and they're still crediting it to this team because the NBA, I'm dreading this next week. They're going to still say X team drafted it, even though it was a trade, but because the NBA doesn't make it official, it's still officially this other. It's going to be annoying again. Why don't you?
Yeah.
Sorry.
But all right, let's take our last break for this hour, and then we can regroup and reset for the final hour. We'll be right back after these quick words. All right, just a couple minutes left to the top of the hour. Again, coming up next hour, we'll get back to some more baseball talk here as we get set for Brewers Guardians. We've got the Twins also coming. Twins in action tonight, going up against the Rangers. Right. Rangers. So
pretty well against Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, they had a lot of runs last night.
Mm-hmm.
Lots.
So, but all right, that's what. The whole trade talk stuff. Actually, there is no game tonight. It's off day today for the
Twins.
For the Twins, yeah. It's where we're.
What? How did I miss that?
I don't know.
Because it's a Wednesday.
Yeah, there's nothing on the schedule. They got
a 4-gamer coming up. That would make sense.
Yeah, so they got Rangers tomorrow, and then Diamondbacks for a 3-game series.
Oh, what?
So
something going on at Globe Life?
Maybe.
Field?
Maybe. Is there a World Cup thing going on in?
Maybe. Oh, gosh, I just realized. Well, maybe there's some, because that's right next door to, oh, hey, I should check the World Cup schedule, see if there's.
Did I actually get something right on soccer? Possibly?
You might have. Something in Jerry World is happening later on today.
I saw Messi got a hat trick.
Yeah, like on the one hand, I was like, dang, I missed that. On the other hand, I'm like, yeah, well, it's the early rounds. Like, I mean, kind of what do you expect? Mm-hmm. So it's cool. And it's messy. Obviously, it's still a pretty cool deal.
England at Croatia, AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas.
There you go. That would be why there's no Texas Rangers home game today, because they're going to be a little crowded in that area.
It's just a different kind of pitch.
Ha! Hey now, you know your football.
Yeah, that's one for me.
Not 1994, folks. Come on, we do know more. Go England, by the way.
Yeah.
So again, my rankings are still Norway. Well, USA, Norway, England.
Why is it a week between games before USA?
Yeah, it's just how the schedule works.
Okay, I didn't know if that was
out.
All right, so they got Australia coming up on Friday.
Should win that one. Should.
And then what's their next one? Like, not next Tuesday, because that's the furthest the schedule is going. So I'll have to look it up a little.
There's another one in there somewhere.
Yeah. All right, Shot Clock's going to cut us off here. So we've got some news updates, but we'll be back to kick off the final hour of this Wednesday program. Making a turn on the week. Coming up after these quick words. Final hour, kick it off right now on this Wednesday morning of June 17th. Thanks for hanging out with us and making us a part of your starts. Coming up, we'll get back to some more Brewers baseball chats. If you want to send us your Wednesday what-ifs, give us a sports take, a sports scenario where you'd say, hey, what if this happened? What if that happened? Send them on over. We've had some good ones so far in the first couple hours of the program. Reminder today, too, doubleheader for the Eau Claire Express, 12:05 first pitch. Right now, everything's scheduled as scheduled, original scheduled, and 6:35, which is Midwest Family Broadcasting Night as well. So you can see our buddy Luke sing the national anthem. Do you have to prepare really quick, Luke? Any different way of if it's rain, vocals, just go out there and tough it out?
Not really. Just make sure. Well, I mean, they're not going to be having the anthem if there's actual rain falling. So that would be the biggest concern would be getting the microphone wet.
Okay.
Because bad times there, obviously. Mm-hmm. Other than that, kind of helps with the lubrication, the hydration of your.
That's a deep dive.
Vocal cords. Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Oh.
Analysis.
Yes, we'll stop right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it's gonna be fine. Just try not to get water in the eyes.
Yeah. Before we get to some more baseball talk, though, we're going to talk a little football here to open up this morning, and we are chatting right now on the phone. Via phone is the head coach from the Eau Claire Axemen, head coach Jim Britton. Jim, thanks for joining us this morning. How are you doing, sir?
Fantastic. How are you?
Not bad, man. Not bad. Thanks for joining us this morning and chatting a little football. I know the Axemen are back at home this weekend, taking on the Iowa Woo and such. But, Jim, I want to ask, what's it been like your first year as a head coach with this group? How is the team progressing so far?
We're getting better and better each week. It's kind of a crazy business because you have guys that come and go, and then you start over the week, and everybody's trying to acclimate and get to know each other, and then you add the playbook onto it. Besides, it can be a bit hectic, but like I told the guys on Monday, I wouldn't go to battle with anybody else than what we have of the guys in the locker room. So I'm a very optimistic person, even though we're 0-3. We've improved each game. Now, last game down in Springfield, Missouri, Grand Island, Nebraska, 4 or 5 plays made the difference, and we got walloped pretty good. But I've always said when we win, and when we lose, we learn. So we learned a lot and broke down the film, and now we're just anticipating. We've already put that in the past, and we're looking forward to our second home game with the Iowa Woo.
Jim, I know you're a long time, high school coach, and that's for anybody who maybe hasn't checked out an arena league football game. What's the difference? What's it like? And was it kind of an adjustment for you, like for high school and to being the head coach for an arena football team?
Yeah, I've always been a long-time assistant. This fall, I'll be back again with the Eau Claire Memorial football team and Coach Tom Westcott, and I was at practice last couple of nights after our practice got done. Of course, 11 man, you have 4 more guys to help you out. Our game, it was a big adjustment for me because it's 7-on-7, and it's generally an offensive / passing league. So those type of adjustments, I had to get used to. It's a whole different ball game. You can watch it like 7-on-7 flag football, but this is full contact and a couple of different rules. You have a throw off, you don't have a kickoff. You can surrender on 4th down, and if you do that, if it's 4th and long and you surrender, you give the other team the ball and they take it at the 15. It's only a 50-yard field. And width-wise as well, so you have less grass to cover per se, and it's so fast-paced. Once the ball is set, official blows the whistle. You only got 20 seconds to go, and you can't huddle. So you have risk coaches, and everything is just so fast-paced. So that's a huge hurdle to get over. But I'm more used to it now. Obviously, it's my second year, but first-year head coach. there's a lot of behind the scenes things that go on that I guess when I used to be an athletic director, you see all of those things firsthand, but the public doesn't always see the things that go on behind the scenes, and so that's a big adjustment for me.
So we've got June 20th. If you're looking for Father's Day weekend to take Dad to a football game, you got Saturday nights at the Sonntag Center at 7:05 p.m. You can head to the Axman's website, ecaxmanfootball.com, to purchase your tickets. And I believe, Coach, too, did I see on Facebook, buy one, get one for the game this weekend, too?
Yes, I believe that's the case. I don't get too involved with that part of it. Our team president, Dr. Michael Kubin, who lives in Dallas, Texas, we've become really, really good friends, and he kind of runs the show, and anything I need, I can talk to him and vice versa. So we're always conversing, sometimes 3, 4, 5 times a day. I'm his right-hand man, I guess. I'm his eyes and ears on the ground here, and then when he comes up, he does his thing and we do ours, and just try to make that experience for the fans not only realistic, but just to have a lot of fun. And there's so much going on in the world today, and it just for a couple 3 hours, and that's the beauty of sports. You can just kind of put things to the side and just have fun with family and friends and have a good time. And so, yeah, we hope they come out and this buy one, get one free, and get to watch a good quality football game. And it's climate controlled. It's always 72 degrees and sunny inside. So, yeah, we'd love to have everybody come on out and watch us.
All right, again, kickoff 7:05 Saturday night. And again, if you're looking for something to take Dad to, and Dad's a big football fan or a big sports fan, head on down to the Sonntag Center. And you don't have to worry about rain if it does rain on Saturday, because you get to watch the action. And, Coach, thanks for joining us a little bit this morning. And, hey, we'll catch up again with you next Wednesday, okay, sir?
That sounds great. Thank you so much for having me on your program, and I also want to give a shout out to all the sponsors. Thank you for supporting us throughout, and fans for supporting us so far this year, and we continue that sport and that journey for the rest of the summer.
You got it. Thanks, Coach Jim, and we'll catch up with Coach coming up next week. And if you want to check out the schedule for the Eau Claire Axemen, you can head to ecaxmanfootball.com and make sure you follow them on Facebook, too, because they're always posting up some specials and some deals over there, too. So that's coming up this Saturday. All right, Lucas.
Yes.
So we've got Brewers back at it. Cooper Pratt made his debut yesterday, and, of course, doesn't get a hit, so he's a bum.
Bust. Did he have a patch on last night? That MLB debut one?
I don't know, to be honest with
Take
you.
a look at the pictures of the video. Probably did. But, yeah, the Cooper Pratt era is underway. That's good.
Had a throwing error, which I chalk it up to some nerves.
He's
kind
new.
of getting it out of there.
Well, it'll be fine. So saw the Sarah Langs post last night. Brewers off to their third best start through this number of games.
Most wins in franchise history through the first 70 games.
Yeah.
So got that going for us.
I mean,
which is nice.
Again, this was maybe going to be the down year for the Brewers. I think a lot of us thought that. And here they are once again, pacing pretty well this season.
Isn't this an example of, we all like to be armchair quarterbacks and overanalyze, and yet still the smartest people in the room are probably the people in the building itself.
Mm-hmm. This is why I say over and over, and I am a fan, that fans really don't matter ultimately. I think media folks, probably more national media folks, get caught up in what are the fans are going to be outraged by whatever. I'm sorry, they're fans. It is it's my trope. It's entertainment to all of us. These folks are paid to do a job because they are good at that job. Even the worst will probably do a better job than us. Same for the players, too. The worst NFL players is why I always say if a quarterback is, quote unquote bad. I always say they're a bad NFL quarterback. I don't want to say they're a bad quarterback because that bad NFL quarterback, think like Nate Peterman, is a way better quarterback than probably everybody listening to this show right now if we tried to be a quarterback right now, okay? It's all relative. Now, of course, it's relative to what you have. So there's going to be good ones. There's going to be bad ones, yes. They know what they're doing, and some know better. The Brewers, not only do they have people that are pretty smart at what they do, but they're, by Major League Baseball standards, and the 30 teams are really good at that. They got the secret sauce. They've figured out how to stay competitive in a market. Yes, going back to market size and finances, but they really should be like the Pittsburgh Pirates or the Cincinnati Reds. Yet they're competitive year in and year out, and here we are yet again. They send off Freddie Peralta. What do you know? Even with not hitting that many home runs, here they are with one of their best seasons ever so far through mid-June, and that's with a lot of good seasons in recent years. They've earned they earned the benefit of the doubt years ago. We're not shocked by this.
Right. All right, let's take a quick break. More baseball talk, more fun coming up after these few words. So in the first hour, I threw out a question. What's the most worthless, pointless, overrated sports statistic currently right now? And it's not a knock on Aaron Ashby, but how much?
I knew you were going there.
how much has that number kind of lost its luster a little bit, lost its shine over the years?
I think when Felix Hernandez was it? Refresh my memory. Was he like either in line for the Cy Young or he won the Cy Young with like 13 wins or something? That felt to me like the tipping point of we are now valuing something other than wins, and understandably so. The data shows that. So it's already been that way for a while. So it's not going to be as big of a deal if Aaron Ashby is a 20-game winner. If he goes 20-0 this season, like you're going to see derisive articles on that. There's going to be a boom lit around late September of what are we doing with wins? This doesn't matter. Do we need to change wins so that reliever wins don't properly count or something? You'll probably see a little something like that, and then the playoffs will begin, and we will collectively forget about it. Because it could very well happen again. It's every reason to think it can happen. But this is not the beginning of this is not the opener trend. The Brewers are not pioneering 20-win relievers. This is kind of a circumstance of their pitching rotation and a little bit of happenstance that Aaron Ashby's in the right place at the right time. It definitely can be repeated, but I don't think you're going to start to see every team adopt it, similar to the Rays doing the opener thing going, whoa, this works. Most meaningless stat. Quarterback wins, probably.
Okay, so that was the other one I threw in there, the whole debate whether a quarterback win is a stat or not. Somebody had mentioned quarterback wins in the postseason, which I think initially they get really ridiculous.
Also known as the Aaron Rodgers can't win in the playoffs award from 2009.
Yeah. Thank you. That's exactly what I mentioned. It was the one game. Oh, he can't win.
I'll amend this even further. The Colin Cowherd Aaron Rodgers cannot win in the playoffs award circa 2009.
Yes.
That is. I know that's very specific, but that was the thing. They can't win. Well, right. Can you put Aaron Rodgers in as a safety? Then maybe it's his fault.
Yeah.
I hated that. And I'm not a Packers fan. I was so annoyed by that stat. Like, come on.
Yep. Somebody did mention WAR. Like they didn't here. Let me go back to it because I know you're kind of into WAR a little bit here. So,
do tell. I mean,
here we go. This was from Brandon. He said, I still haven't figured out why WAR in baseball is a stat that is really emphasized in baseball, especially when it comes to how to determine Hall of Fame inductees. Is that like them using Super Bowl wins for quarterbacks in their Hall of Fame inductees?
I mean, I guess the idea is, the face value explanation is if your performance is responsible for more victories, of course, that is inherently a good thing. Again, on face value. But then you get into game circumstances and stuff. Every so often, Aaron Gleeman, formerly of The Athletic, now AaronGleeman.com, will post I think it's the top 5 and bottom 5 Twins by WAR in a given season. And it usually matches with what you expect. The guys who are on hot streaks are near the top. The ones who are error-ridden or really cold, like Royce Lewis at his worst earlier this year, was right near the bottom. Matt Wallner was right near the bottom, and of course both then got demoted. But sometimes you'll see someone near the top or the bottom, and you're like, what? That guy's really good or really bad? And the data's the data. It's a little bit of ball don't lie, I guess. But that's not a perfect metric. I suppose if it was a perfect metric, then you could just point blank say, who had the most WAR in a given season? Bang, there's your MVP. Well, that's getting a little too clinical, right? I think. It's a stat that can contribute to it. Aaron Ashby already being 10-0 on the season, and let's presume that he pulls this off, and he goes 20-0 this year. That's going to help the case so which one is it for the Brewers? They've got 2 at American Family Field. There's the walk, and then there's
the walk and the wall.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. That is going to strongly help his case for making at least one of those. and it sounds a little stupid, but it's true too. I mean that's going to be in the memories of Brewers fans. Mm-hmm. Sure, if you're 20 game winner, even if it comes with a chuckle, it was. But that's also not going to make him a Hall of Fame lock if he's the first 20-game winner in forever. Like the Baseball Hall of Fame is not going to be like, well, we got to consider Aaron Ashby. It's not a knock on Aaron Ashby, but consider the context.
Right.
So it's another factor. It can be overrated. You have to use it in context. Everything like quarterback wins do matter to a degree because you're the quarterback and you're. I mean, I say arguably, but not really arguably, you're the most important person on a football team. You're the most important player. So, yeah, quarterback wins do matter, but it's all you all have to look under the hood at a lot of the stuff. That's why you have stuff like DVOA, for example. That can be overrated, too. Mm-hmm. QBR can be overrated. It depends on if...
We've talked about the Pro Football Focus grades being...
yes.
Again, Aaron Rodgers, remember the Chiefs game where he threw like 4 touchdown passes and
right.
he got a low grade?
Right. Was it the RPI?
Yeah.
There are a lot of the pairwise. Really, any stat probably can be overrated. Mm-hmm. A lot of them are put together by humans who are focusing on a particular aspect of sports. We've rarely found something that is an absolute, this is good, this is bad. I think the best thing to do, honestly, it's a lot like political polls, where you'll see, and I've seen this so many times, you get close to an election, one poll comes out a certain way, one candidate's doing really well, surprisingly well, or surprisingly poorly, and a lot of the more, what we call election Twitter folks, the very data geek types are like, throw it in the pile. Because you don't know if is this telling you something or is it an outlier? Combine it with everything else and try to come up with a holistic way. Mm-hmm. The same for sports stats and all these formulas and everything I just mentioned. The SRS from like Baseball Reference and Pro Basketball Reference. Same thing.
So on the flip side, what's the stat that you like the most?
I mean, I've been a DVOA fan for a long time, but that also doesn't tell you everything either. But that one I have thought is pretty good. I think baseball-wise, like I like the BABIP, batting average on baseballs in play, because now you're accounting for other stuff. Mm-hmm. You're getting a better context there versus just wins. Hey, you won a game. How did that happen? Well, how are you doing when the ball's in play? Now that's accounting for who's behind you. Stuff like that. So those sorts of stats are good in baseball. Like football wise, like I said, I do like DVOA a lot.
What about just like stats that you would look at a box score? Is there anything that tells the story?
ERAs, and I know that even that's not as much. ERA and WHIP.
WHIP, I was just gonna.
Yeah, those are probably the best. I mean, your OPS is probably a pretty good one. In terms of a broader based one, if between slugging and batting average, slugging and on base percentage.
Because I mean, we've seen teams in broadcasts switch to OPS over batting average now. You know, it's
what a simple one is, and it's not. It's a stat, but it's a very basic stat. And hockey people will be like, duh, shots on goal.
Yeah,
and it's good that has made its way more to the score bug. That's a good one. I mean, it tells me a lot for a basic stat. Watching the Stanley Cup final, and you go, okay, yeah, so game's 2-1, but how are the shots on goal going? That tells you which team in real time is dominating more. I'll oftentimes look like for soccer when Aston Villa's playing, and so I'll scroll down. One of the first things I want to see, if it's a 1-1 game, it's 1-1 at the half. Who's been dominating so far? And that'll tell me a lot right there before I go in and see, like, okay, what's the actual analysis? But if it's like 64-36, Villa's got it way over like Manchester United, and it's 1-1. I'm like, you guys should be winning by more right now. Or like if they're down 2-0 to a really bad team, but they have like 75% possession, what's going on here? So those are some more basic stats, but like possession, shots on goal, again, that sort of stuff that tells you how much one team really is, again, dominating a game. I like those ones.
Yeah.
You have a favorite?
I always go to, and I know there's major flaws to it, but I always go to like point and run differential. That's one of my favorite ones, but I completely get and understand there's flaws to it. It doesn't tell the whole story.
12-1 game can skew it.
Yes, exactly.
But the theory is over the course of a season, you should get an idea of what's going on.
I like it maybe more so in basketball with the point differential because it kind of tells you offensive and defensive, you know, like, okay, who's actually legit in those categories and such. Even football to an extent, you can definitely see that. I get baseball gets a little skewed. I mean, Brewers right now are one of the top run differential teams, but they don't hit home runs. But is that a good? Is that bad?
Right.
There's so much more open to debate and interpretation with that. So, I mean, then you could go, to your very basics. If you have a really good field goal percentage, you're probably doing pretty well.
Yeah.
You know, the basic ones with that.
Yeah.
I always just use the phrase, a lot of the Pro Football Focus, the DVOAs, they're a tool in the toolbox. You either like that one or you don't. It helps tell a story.
Right.
You can use it to help tell. You can use it as a source to help tell a story, or not. Just everybody's. It's different.
Aaron Schatz even admits like he'll get flummoxed by sometimes the DV watches or read his recaps every week. It'll be like, why is this team doing that? Maybe there's something wrong with the formula. He admits that. Like he doesn't think it's perfect.
Do we have too much of that? Too much of those analytics and
we do. So that's why there's that trick of like, could we find a way to put them all into, again, kind of like with polls where you have like 538's the old example. Now, of course, that's expired, but to use like the Nate Silver.nets and other ones that combine the poll of polls. I remember when I first heard that on CNN back in the 90s. That was like a new thing of like, you're going to average out the polls? The same thing for all the metrics. Can you find a way to throw all the metrics and find that? But even then, that's based on someone's opinion of which ones should count for this. You're going to probably get a better collective idea that way. But it's still ultimately someone's judgment of which ones are more important than others. I don't think that maybe there's some way to ultimately figure out. And you'll find, like, take AI, for example. AIs that could do a pretty good job of, like, going through stuff and finding patterns very deep level that we can't do. Maybe there's some way you could use AI to go, okay, look historically at every winner of in a given league. Is there one pattern that sticks out besides they won? ChatGPT, what's the biggest thread? They won the championship. Gee, thanks. But use like for the deeper analytical stuff. I wonder if there's something out there we can go once and for all. That's the thing. But then you wonder if you do find the thing, what does that do? And does everyone start chasing that? Does that change that too?
Yeah. Like, we got to take a quick break here, but Bill from Chippewa Falls says, Gasser pitches his butt off for 5 2/3. Ashby comes in, gives up the tying run. Gasser gets a no decision, and Ashby gets the win. There's something seriously wrong with that.
That doesn't seem to make sense.
Because when you see the line, it has BS next to it, which blown save, not BS, but it says it's Ashby gets blown save, but then the win.
Right. That's where this is like, right now it's fun. This is where the baseball folks, probably both the analytical ones and the non-analytical ones, are going to be like, what if he gets close to 20?
Because I guarantee you there's still contracts out there that have incentives. Hey, if you win 10 games, you get a bonus. Well,
right.
The rules kind of make it kind of hard now to achieve some of those numbers.
Oh, yeah. No team is going to be able to say, sorry, actually, no.
Yep.
That's the contract.
Yep, exactly. All right, we got to take a quick break. We'll be back in just a little bit. Luke's going to be taking over for me here in a few minutes because I got to get the kid to another baseball hitting camp with the Eau Claire Express over at Momentum Baseball Academy. So,
how'd he do in day one?
it's good. Just getting him out of his comfort zone. So he gave major props to Coach CJ, which is actually Dale's son, CJ.
Very good.
So, yep, one more today. So right in time for tournament season. So,
Cool.
yeah, so Luke will be taking over for me here in a little bit. Bucks, here's another one, are reportedly looking to move Bobby Portis in a potential Giannis trade per Jake Fisher. So that's the thing, though. If you're going to trade Giannis, just get rid of everybody at this point.
Yeah.
Get rid of it. Kyle Kuzma if you can. Bobby Portis, I hate to say it. If you're going to move on from Giannis, just get rid of everybody and start over.
No more Antetokounmpo brothers. Sorry
Nope.
for the misspeak there, but you know what I mean.
Yep. Antetokounmpo.
Right.
A. The Greek Freak brothers.
Yeah. I mean, I learned how to pronounce the name relatively early, so. But hey, he's a look. If he's done again, I don't like writing the obituary before the passing, but he's the best Milwaukee Buck of all time. If this is it, he is the best Milwaukee Buck of all time as of now.
And I get a lot of people are getting sick and tired of talking about it, and I understand it, but it is also a rather big potential news story.
It is
when and if it does.
There is a
happen.
reason why, as much as we deride it, there's a reason why ESPN puts it under the category of NBA Finals talk when it really doesn't have anything to do with the two teams in the NBA Finals. It is going to be a very big, big, big deal. I guess it depends on where he goes, too, of like, do we then root for them or against them?
That's the
next
other part
team.
too. It's like it's Giannis, so and I feel like the NBA is so individualized when it comes to your favorite players. Like so many young fans just follow the player, instead of the team.
A lot of people are going to follow him.
And
understandably.
that's kind of where earlier in the week I said, okay, what's the one team you then don't want him to go to if you want to still kind of root for him? I think Lakers would be on that list for a lot of people. Warriors
Probably
maybe.
the Heat.
Yeah.
I think that's still there.
Boston I would put on there too that they're not going to. So
you could say Indiana, but that doesn't seem to be a likelihood at all.
I feel like a lot of people that chimed in said, I'd like to see him if he goes to the Spurs.
Yeah, because the Spurs have always kind of been you don't get really passionate one way or the other about it. They've never been that way.
Yeah.
Oklahoma City, like if you went there, okay, fine, I guess, sure, why not?
What about the Timberwolves?
I know, okay, you would think Wisconsinites would hate that, but that's because there's not a Bucks-Timberwolves rivalry. I do think that's in line to change if the Timberwolves, as I think is most likely to happen, go to the Eastern Conference with future expansion. Just as well, good. Let's get a rivalry going. But
I agree. Yeah.
But I agree. I don't sense that if he goes to Minnesota, okay, there's not much Timberwolves hatred like there is Vikings Gophers hatred.
No, it's like Brewers Twins to an extent to it.
And it's not even that. There are Brewers fans that cannot stand the Twins, but I think that's older stuff. Or if they don't like it when the Twins come over down to American Family Field.
I think it's more like when you're actually there, then you're like, oh, I don't like you.
Yeah.
But like right now,
no,
I don't care.
It doesn't. We're talking about a Byron Buxton trade, big whoop. Whereas mid-season, in mid-October, would we be talking about, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a Viking that could be traded to the Packers, there's no one that like Harrison Smith. If Harrison Smith comes back and is having a decent year, but the Vikings are 2-6 or something like that, maybe more like 1-5. Would we be talking about, hey, what do you think of Harrison Smith getting traded at the deadline to the Packers? No, that's not happening at all, or vice versa. And maybe the teams are thinking about that, but as fans, no freaking way.
Yeah. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and then Luke is going to take over for me here. So we'll do that, and